You know we talk that stick talk, that stick talk. I'm about to fuck this cash.
Well, we're back. We are back. Stick talk, motherfuckers. We're in the house. We got the Texas fam on tonight, and you guys are probably wondering, who the fuck is this guy, and why the fuck is a guy that drives an automatic on a Stick Talk podcast? We're gonna get into that, and y'all guys are gonna learn some shit tonight. So that's the homie. That's the homie, Chris Raska, formerly of Nitrous Express, now of Raska Motorsports, and he just whooped RL. He's on a team that just whooped our ass at War in the Woods.
Tony's got it figured out.
Yeah.
He's got it very figured out.
For sure.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was. Now that I've seen the video, it wasn't as close as a race as I was hoping it'd be. We got fucking gapped.
Yeah, I won $20 on the race. I should have bet on the gap too.
Yeah, I would never know who you bet $20 on. I would never know.
Me either. I won't tell.
Does John always run no time, or like because he's doing coyote stock? Usually those races that are typically time shown, right?
Usually, but now he's starting to become one of us. So now he's getting used to the. Well, I'm trying to get him sparked up a little bit. He's in the pit still, like kind of shy. I'm like, no, you got to go in there. Like, I'm gonna gap that motherfucker. 500 or better. Let's go. I'm trying. I'm really trying. So he'll get there.
So what times has that car ran?
The best I've seen it do so far, and Raska's about to laugh when I say this, but it's a 580, and I need to convince him to spray it out the hole. So we got that nitrous kit kind of rigged up where he's got on a button and he's hitting it kind of when he needs to, and I need to get him situated where we're spraying the whole time and out the hole, ramping it in, and actually putting use to that 150 that's on there. And I need to get him to let me jet that motherfucker up. That's for damn sure. Because 150 ain't cutting it. We saw that.
Yeah, car runs good, but I think it's got more in it.
I would have to agree with you. And we need to find a competent tuner for that car. I'm not going to throw anybody under the bus on who was currently tuning the car. But
you're not going to throw someone under the bus?
Surprisingly not. No, I'm going to behave today. Well, it's more or less on John's behalf. If it was my call, I'd be throwing him under the bus, but I don't want to get him into some shit, especially I don't know if he's still dealing with the guy or what. But long story short,
you put the Nitrous tune in it.
Oh, no, we were running the Coyote stock tune.
Oh, so Ford did it.
Yeah, right now it's not a Ford tune because yeah, the guy that's tuning the car, it actually went slower on a nitrous tune.
How does that happen?
That was kind of my question, and I'm just gonna put it out there. It's not HPP racing tuned, and it's not Lund racing tuned. So, and it's also not Palm Beach Dyno, because I know that would be the one that I would point it at and be like, that's the issue. But surprisingly, they're not tuning the car either. So,
is it a factory ECM he's running?
Factory ECM, yep. It is a
okay.
It was a Gen 3 NMRA spec crate motor. But now it's got my old Boss manifold on it. It's got the Nitrous Express wet kit on it. I do bully him because he's got a G101A, so he loses a little bit of brownie points there, but he's still family to me, so I'll let him pass.
This is the one we put the direct port plates on, right?
Yeah, yep, that's the one.
Yep.
And I know those can handle a lot of nitrous, so I think it's time we bump that up and get that maximizer solo that you were talking about.
Yep.
So I think that'll be a big game changer. And I think Phil Fez up there, once he gets his motor together, needs to get a little kit on that blower as well.
Yeah.
I think the plan's going to change.
Oh. What's the plan?
But, I haven't really made up my mind yet. Like, someone offered me some turbos for the car for a really good price, and I think that is probably the change I'm going to make.
Fair enough. So you want to hate your life a little bit?
Turbo's like nitrous too.
I like making my life extremely difficult for no reason.
Well, if you want to make your life extremely difficult, just put a Pro Charger on it and snap your crank in half.
No, I'm good.
Almost happened.
Oh yeah.
Last week.
Yeah, you got some good experience with Pro Chargers, Chris. Let's What's the current car you've been working on down there in Texas?
This Fox body got a 408 with a F1X on it.
And the name is whooping
Full
ass.
interior. We try to squeak in daily driver rules, but we run True Street with it a lot. It's pretty quick.
I heard he's going to
We're
put a sound
putting-
system in it.
Yeah, we typically run a little bit of weight in the back, so we're going to go ahead and put a sub in the back and have a sound system and a bottle in the back too. We're going to spray it out of the hole for a little bit. Who knows when they spray it the whole way?
I mean, we'll probably know if we end up in the next lane. We'll definitely know, judging what just happened. So it reminded me to dodge that car.
But it runs pretty good.
Yeah, I will say firsthand, you know what a lot of the local guys to me, and I was telling Chris this at War in the Woods when we're sitting there in the lanes. A lot of the local guys to me think they're fast. Texas fast is a different thing. And when you got Tony behind the wheel driving a badass Fox body that originally came from Chicago, and you realize that car is now Texas fast, even though they're from Cali, it ain't no joke, man. We gotta step our games up. So any local guys that are watching this, 640s ain't gonna cut it.
No. I mean, you can bring that to the track if you want, but it's not going to cut it.
I think we're gonna keep that at home.
Well, I was just looking with Tony's car on that pass, that PB that he made at Rockingham. He went a 550 the 8th.
It's quick.
Which is fucking quick on a stick car.
That's quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got that thing figured out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to take a look at the Garrett's Tamer that's on that car, his slipstick, and it's I thought it would be bigger. Don't leave the jokes out of this one. Leave that one out. I set myself
his third
up there.
leg?
Yeah,
Wow,
I
that's how we're
thought
starting.
Garrett's third leg would be bigger, but man, it's actually like a pretty compact, like good fitting unit. I'm setting myself up for a lot of jokes here.
Oh, yeah.
So we're just gonna ignore the fact that I'm setting myself up and walking right into this. But no, I mean, I think Tuck's up right on the dash, and it looks like it's not like the old clutch tamers that we're all used to with the big ass knob hanging out, bumping you in the knee every time you're grabbing a gear. So I will say I was a believer before because I want to support the homies, but seeing it in action and seeing it firsthand, the installation, that's a damn piece to have right there.
Yeah, I would daily drive my car with that on there.
No shit.
Yeah, and it's like completely out the way, very compact. You could really put your trim back on the steering column and whatnot, and it's not going to cause any problems or whatnot. It bolts up just like factory.
Yes, I think all of us in the stick world need to start buying them because I'm tired of seeing blown up tail shafts. And I know Chris likes to bully me and say, "Hey, you need to put an auto in that thing." That's what we do with stick shifts down here in Texas. But we got to compete with a stick, man. We got to put it down for the stick shift guys.
Oh yeah,
Well,
they're cool.
that unit's a game changer, man. Like I'm waiting for one. Garrett's gonna get me one, and I honestly don't even want to race the car until I have it in there. Like just seeing how well it works now too, and just with the breakage too. Stick cars just breaking shit all the time, and I'm sick of breaking shit.
Yeah.
Well, I think that we've all done well here because you blew your motor, I blew my motor, Phil blew his, so it's like we've all gotten that out of the way. So I think the only thing I'm left and you're left with is blowing transmission, right?
Yeah, my transmission is the only thing that's stock in that driveline now.
Would you say
We've done everything else.
would you say it's like a failure or blowing? If you blow the motor, if it still like runs?
That's the thing. Did I really blow the motor? Not really. It's in the heads, but I guess we'll chalk it up as an L. It was an L. We didn't.
Well, yeah, my shit's an L. Stop. But
Yeah, let's talk about that. We're on live. Let's talk about some of that if you don't mind.
Yeah, let me get the debris real quick.
Oh, you're gonna love this one. I can already see Raska's ready to see this one.
I've got no idea what that piece of whatever he found. That's all I've seen. So aside from that, I don't know what.
This is like the only piece right here.
Mallory metal, right?
Yeah, that's Mallory. So it's chiseled, it's counterweight, and then they didn't cross drill it or do it 90 degrees on the crankshaft. They put it right at the top, and then there was no welding done to it, and they kind of let it ride.
That's what happened to Billy, didn't it, with a crankshaft years ago?
Yeah, when he crashed the Nova, that's exactly what happened also.
Yeah.
But his put a hole through the motor, and then oil got underneath the car, and then that's why it did what it did. But fortunately, I don't know when this happened to me, but I found it during an oil change because the car was acting weird. And now it's stripped down to a short block right now. And now I'm at a fork in the road with what do I do with the car and how do I progress with it.
So nitrous and turbos?
No, I like the one power adder thing, and with the turbos I'm going with, they're probably going to be really responsive already, and there's no need to put spray on them because they'll spool up within a second.
It's always better to have more than less.
Yeah, I've heard all this before, and then people try it, and they're like, "Why didn't I do this a long time ago?"
Yeah, I don't know. The last car I ran there was a dual power adder. It was a blower nitrous car. It didn't end well for them, but yeah.
Well, that's lack of experience. So that's the biggest thing. Now I can attest to that. So a lot of guys say that nitrous blows up motors, but it is it's
the operator.
It's a lot of operator. And, it's so guys want to put in damn near a mother bottle and then have it on a button, and then not have a tune for it, and then want to run cheap ass pump 93 and stock plugs and be like, why the fuck did my car blow up? Nitrous is bad. Well, you're missing out on a lot of the things that are necessary to make a nitrous motor or even a stock motor on juice run a long time. But guys don't want to hear that because they don't want to spend money because they think nitrous is cheap. It is, but you got to set it up right. You got to spend some bread to make the thing run right. Regardless, it's still going to be cheaper than a turbo. It's going to be cheaper than a blower, yes. But guys want to hear cheap, and they think a $500 kit is going to be all they need to run fucking 9 or 8 second passes. And that's just not how it works.
I think Chris can probably comment on that. And I guess a little bit of history. Like, I know, Chris, the first time I seen you was when you were with Nitrous Express.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how long you were with them, but I think now you've kind of moved on and started your own shop. Is kind of the
I'm kind of I help my buddy at Hicks Off Road. We do powder coating and truck accessories and side by side accessories, and then we're also doing all the race car stuff along with it.
Okay.
But I was at Nitrous Express for 6 or 7 years.
Oh shit! It's the time.
Just had the opportunity to go do my own thing and kind of took it.
Jump on it, yeah. But you're obviously still a big Nitrous Express supporter.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yep. I see those guys all the time. Still race with them, help them out. Yeah. I'm over there once or twice a week, sometimes buying parts. So, yeah, for sure. They're still my guys.
Oh, there goes Kim. She says, hi, Raska.
What's up?
She's here to bully us, make sure we're on our best behavior.
Yeah.
Good thing she missed the beginning segment.
This guy says, nitrous is going to cost you a lot of spark plugs. Yes and no. Yes and no. It just depends. Depends on what you're doing.
Right. Nah.
That's the problem is, again, just a lot of user error and guys not missing the tune-up, and then you're expecting the fucking thing to work as reliably as, we're going to use the term reliably for lack of a better term, but, they expect to be the same thing every time, but they don't want to check their bottle pressure. They don't want to check none of that shit. And then be like, oh, well, spark plugs are shot. It's nitrous fault. Everything's wrong with nitrous.
Yeah. I mean, you've got guys that'll change spark plugs every round, and there's guys that won't change them for a month. Go to 5 races on the same set of plugs. Just however you do your program, I guess.
Yeah. And speaking of programs, so what is it that for the people? Obviously, I know, but what is it that you were racing for the longest time? What are some of the vehicles you got in your garage?
I've got a little S10 that I built a long time ago. It's a small block nitrous deal. It was on big tires. I switched it to smalls, and then I have a Vega that it was a small tire car. I wrecked it. I'm rebuilding it right now. And then, I don't know, I got several cars. I got another little daily driver Vega. It's a LS deal. And then I've got a LTD. I was going to LS swap, but it's on the side burner for now.
But this is going to be good for some of the guys that I know have been complaining too that we don't cover a lot of LS stuff. So we can get into a little bit of LS with you, since you know a lot about the small block Chevys, obviously big blocks, LS stuff. So I think we could talk a little bit about that and kind of go into that way of what do you think the capabilities are? So a lot of guys, obviously, I mean, we talk about it all the time. I'm doing one of the builds you recommended, but a lot of guys, not to go against the Coyote guys, but on the other side of the spectrum, guys are out building these crazy, 441 LSX, 427s, all this crazy stuff. But it seems like you've been having a lot of success with the stock bottom end 4.8s, 5.3s, 6.0s.
Yeah, we've been taking 5.3s and, putting head studs in them and good head gaskets and Gen 4 bottom end and spraying a lot on them and having no problems out of them.
So they can
They also
they
set that LS record with the LC9 block. I don't know the full in and out of it, but I know it was LC9 block on that car.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that car
is a good motor, but they tend to lift heads from what I've seen a lot of guys run, at least up here. The LC9 is kind of like, it kind of seems like the Coyote stuff, where if you don't have the right engine builder, you're not going to have the right success.
Yeah. I can't talk about the combo a lot because I don't know where it's going to end up on that car with pinks, but it's just a 6.0 bottom end. And we're going to spray quite a bit on it. We did a very easy ramp on it, and it went in the 5. It was very easy.
Badass. So you guys doing something for pinks?
Yeah, that car is going to be on pinks. They're filming next week.
Sweet.
Don Burns is the owner of the car. He's going to drive it, and he's on, I guess, the winner of the deal gets all 8 cars.
Damn.
Yeah, that's what I heard. It sounded very interesting. It should be fun to watch.
Yeah. They're doing that somewhere in North Carolina, I think. I don't remember exactly where.
So you think you think in a world of turbo cars and all these other boosted applications, you still think that everybody tries to say nitrous is outdated and it's outphased, and people are arguing that even more with guys like Charlie Brown, from Tin Soldier going pro charge now.
Yeah.
You think at our level, I mean, we've seen just recently at More in the Woods how many nitrous cars were there still showing out. I mean, you still feel that it's a competent power adder nowadays?
I mean, I think so. I mean, look at there's guys that are dedicated nitrous guys, but look at Stephen Little. He's turbo. He sprays nitrous. We got the Pro Charge car. We're fixing to put nitrous on it too. It's it just assists you in so many ways.
Yep.
That, I mean, there's a lot of guys that have been diehard turbo guys, and they put nitrous on their car. I remember when Stephen Little first did it, and we were filming out in Vegas. Everybody made fun of him, and then by the end of that show, when we got back home, I had Callie Nate and all these guys calling me, going, "Hey, I need one of those kits that you gave Stephen Little." He goes, "I need the exact same thing because that thing works." So I mean, we joked around a lot. We said there's a lot of turbo assisted nitrous cars. But I mean, they just love them. It works well together.
Yeah.
Is Charlie Brown running nitrous as well, or is it just Pro Charger?
They're not right now. No, they're just Pro Charger.
They just trying something different. Does anyone really know?
Yeah. It seems to be working well. I've never really messed with Pro Chargers till we had this car that Cody built, and I kind of like it. It's cool. It's fun to drive for sure, especially when you get out there and drive it to lunch.
Yeah.
And you got a low 5-second car on the street that you're driving around. It's fun.
Be a badass feeling. That's got to be a badass feeling. Like they always make those. They always make those memes about you got your you go race somebody, and then you go like, well, I mean, not even the memes. Look at Tony actually did it. He won a race and then goes to Waffle House right afterwards. So it's
Yep.
got to be a badass feeling. It's unreal. You know,
Yep.
I would say that's the one thing that is a big game changer, at least with the modern engines, with the LSs and the Coyotes, is like that's very more a normal thing. But to see a car like Tony's that's a small block Ford being able to still do that at that level and run the times that he's running and be able to take that car, drive it around, still cruise it, it's crazy. Because I mean, you remember the small block Ford for the while for aside from like you obviously got your dart blocks and shit like that, but it was very selective like what you could do with that small block Ford. The LS was always like the easy route to go. But nowadays, with all the technology and everything that's coming out, it just seems like there's such a vast, like you could really pick anything and have the same goal and meet the same goal.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think Tony's car is unique just for the fact, it is a small block Ford. It's stick shift. It's nitrous, and it goes against what a lot of people are doing. But I mean, the car flies.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like Tony was saying, it's such a basic setup too. Like it's nothing exotic, right? And
Yeah.
and that even came up too when had him on the last live. There is just that it's still streetable too, right?
Yeah, for sure.
That's the thing. What a lot of people is like, again, just the overbuilding, and I think that's one thing that it seems like almost every time, whether it's PRI or War in the Woods or whatever, when I link up with Raska, it's always kind of like we had the conversation, and then I'm just like, man, I got to dump it down a little bit. I'm over here hearing all these other exotic combos and all this crazy shit, and he's just like, yeah, we pulled the jets out of KC Max's motor and just sent it, and it's like, shit, it's that simple. I'm just gonna
That
send it
was
down a little bit.
That was at Shady Side. He says, I do not want to lose this race. And I went and pulled some parts off of Jimmy Dale's car and went over there and we did some math and did some figuring. And I said, I don't know what this is fixing to do, but it's fixing to do something. Yep. And he ended up winning. He didn't lose.
Yeah, it's and many a times the combos you've told me about, the 4.8s and the 5.3s, again, the stock bottom end, just Gen 4 internals, and in the numbers that they could run, and I'm not going to say them out here because I know some of the cars, we can't talk about because they do some grudge stuff, but, just some of the numbers that you've told me, it's like, man, like, which is such a simple combo, how far you can go and still have a streetable car that you don't need, a solid roller setup. You don't need any, like, the crazy shit that people would build before to run those numbers. It's again, nitrous is a big enhancer, but a lot of guys don't want to hear that.
Yeah. I mean, Manny's got the same thing with that little car he calls the Booger, the green
Yeah.
Fox body. I mean, it's a Coyote with cheap turbo kit, and I mean, that thing flies.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you just got to have your combo together and know what you're doing with it. But there's several ways to do it and go fast, cheap.
Yeah. And that's the thing is, like, I know I've talked to Manny plenty of times, and shout out to Manny if you're watching this, my tuner from HPP Racing. We've talked about it, and even on his, it's Gen 3 with a cheap turbo kit, and I think he's got valve springs. That might be about it, just to remedy some of the back pressure issues with the kit that he's running. And even the times that he's told me he's running, it's like, again, that's a car that you probably could take on a cruise and say, fuck it, I'm gonna go get some groceries with this thing, or I'm gonna go to dinner in it and drive it back home. And I think that's a big game changer. What's like, I think that's what's changing the world of racing nowadays, where cars are getting that much faster because of the new technology that's out there, and the way everything's evolving.
Yeah.
So a lot of times you just got to keep it simple. I feel like there's a big allure to saying, I got a Plasma Man this, I got a Frankenstein that, and all the name brands and everything. It looks cool and sounds good, but and again, kind of to go back, a season or two, me racing that fucking high dollar, no expense spared green S550 car. He's got all the high end parts, not a single dime saved on that car. And a little Gen 1 stock motor with a 100 shot, put a fucking bus on them. And it's like, overthink it. Don't overthink it.
Yeah.
Simplicity wins at the end of the day. But I mean, even with a lot of the cars you built and tuned, I mean, what's a common thing that you see a lot of guys doing down there in Texas?
Man, there's a lot of nitrous down here. A lot of Gen 4, 5.3 bottom ends or 6.0, and just spraying the heck out of them, changing the cam and the head gaskets and head studs and spraying them.
So if somebody give or take was watching right now, that was like, hey, I'm going to get the information to build a badass little nitrous motor. What would be your say intake to pan? What would be your build if it was your car or you're building it for a customer? Like, all right, the guy says, I want to go fast with simple shit. How would you set it up? Say a guy's got a Fox body and says, all right, we're gonna do the nitrous deal. Give me the cheapest route.
I'd go with a Gen 4 5.3 with a crossbar plate. If you want 2 stages, get a dual crossbar. Run a separate fuel system for your nitrous and use spray race gas in it. And run pump gas or 110 or something in the tank if you want to. I mean, that's pretty much what we did on this little silver car that we're going to send out there for pinks. And it just works.
Yeah. And do you feel there's more of a gain with the cathedral port style head or the LS3 style rectangle port stuff?
They both seem to be working.
Yeah,
I think it's just having your combo right, having your converter right, having your chassis set right. People leave a lot
big
of
component of that cathedral stuff, man. That cathedral stuff, I don't know. I will live and die on that hill, but I love the old school cathedral shit.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, people leave a lot on the table with chassis setups.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's the thing. I think it's the overall package, right? It's the program, it's the suspension, it's the tuning, it's everything all in one. Really, you can have a basic setup, or you can have the most exotic setup, and if you don't know how to fucking use anything or what you're doing or testing or not, like, yeah. But,
correct.
But one thing I wanted to ask you, Chris, is I've got zero experience with nitrous, and like maybe if you could help me understand, if I'm looking to get nitrous in my car, you've got options. You got Nitrous Express, Nitrous Outlet, all the different nitrous companies.
Correct.
What makes, like, say, Nitrous Express, because that's kind of where you came from. What makes Nitrous Express the better choice?
They do a lot of testing on their products. They have pretty good quality control program. They have good people that when you call the phone and you talk to them and you're having an issue, they know what to do. They're generally at the track with we carry a parts box of common parts. So if you're at the track and you need something and you can find any of those guys, they'll probably have that part in the trailer. Nobody else that I've seen is really servicing their people like that. The Progressor is probably the easiest one to use. The Max 6 is bulletproof. It works great, and it's very simple to use.
Well, Nitrous Express definitely does a good job of being out there, because I see Nitrous Express more than any of the other outfits. So that says a lot. And a lot of the racers, the big racers, the people that are winning that are out there, they all got Nitrous Express on them. That's all I see. So I don't even work there anymore.
I don't work there anymore, and I'm still going to plug their name every time somebody says something about nitrous. That's my go-to.
Yeah.
And even like you were saying about the reversion too, like you were telling me at War in the Woods with the flow.
Yeah, you can test your plates, and if you're spraying nitrous and it has reversion and it kills your fuel pressure, it can throw your tune off, and there's so many things that a lot of people don't check for, that they've taken the time to do the testing and make sure they have a quality product. I know, because I was there and I did a lot of it. It just works.
So I think we need some nitrous on your blower combo, Chris.
Yeah, I need more motor to handle that.
I got one you can borrow. If I break my trans, you can borrow my motor.
I gotta get the thing friggin' going. It's a mess right now. There's a lot of shit going on, so I haven't had a lot of time to fuck with it. So
yeah, well, I know me and Raska were talking. I think I'm going down to Texas in July. I don't know if the old light car is going to come down with me, but we're going to try. I know that for a fact. So we'll get a taste of some of the Texas no prep. So I guess that would be the next thing to kind of phase into is your experience with no prep racing. and kind of what you do on that front, how you set cars up, and what events you got coming up.
For me,
Yep.
well, let's see, man. We got Roswell, New Mexico this weekend. We'll be running the little gangsters class out there. Then we go into Indian Valley, has JJ the Boss coming. And if you want no prep, that's definitely a no prep place to go. It's like being on the street for sure. And then after that, I think we take a break. Then we go to Abilene. It's a no prep. They just opened that track back up this year. Very nice facility. It's all concrete walls, but they said they will never prep that track ever.
Hell yeah.
So, and then we got Shannon Morgan's race down there at Evadale. She's doing the Redemption. She's starting that back up again. So that's my next 4 races in a row right there, all over the place.
A lot of time to go.
It's a lot of traveling.
But it's fun.
Hell yeah. And then as far as like when you're setting these cars up, I mean, is it a lot of changing you're having to do when you're going from track to track to track? Like obviously different bar angles, different tire compounds, or what do you feel is like kind of like your starter no prep? Like again, for somebody looking to get into it, what would be like here's what I'm going to recommend you do this. You know, again, let's say as simple as, you know, your typical Fox SN95 guys.
Well, that's kind of a loaded question because you got guys that want to be on slicks and you got guys that want to be on radials.
Yeah. And we've seen you guys done a lot on radials.
We did a lot of radial stuff. Yeah, pretty much we almost switched all of our cars over to radials, and we're no prepping with radials.
That's
not having any issues. But
what radial do you use?
Huh?
Which radial do you use? Like the Radial Pro or the Pro Bracket radial?
The Radial Pro, the Street Radial Pro, the Pro Brackets. I lose you. Oh, there you are. Cut out for a minute. It's ruled out of a lot of classes for True Street.
Oh yeah, for the DOT.
Yeah.
Are you using those on backside at all, or is it all front side?
We're using those on the street. We're using those on at Indian Valley on a total crap surface. We're using them on prep surface.
No shit.
And that's like Brent and Cody, and we may race on total crap on Friday and then go to a XRP and run a race on Saturday, which is full prep.
Yeah.
So you got to kind of, learn, add weight, change your shock settings, and make it work.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys that they don't want to hear the add weight combo. They think, oh well, it's got to be in, they think it's all in the suspension or it's all in just the tire. As soon as you tell them to add some weight to the car, it's like you're just speaking different language to them.
Mm-hmm. Weight in the right place works.
Yeah. Well, a lot of guys, their concept in their head is I got to get the car as light as I can because it's going to get faster that way. But I see a lot of guys shoot themselves in the foot doing that because you're not taking the weight out of the right places for one. And then you're having to add in more weight when you could have just kept a lot of the static components. I know myself, I've been guilty of doing that with, doing a lot of the shit that I did on my car originally when I was just building a car to build a car. No idea what class, really a goal of what I wanted to do. Took a lot of weight out of a lot of places that really I should have kept weight. And now here I am doing backside events and I'm getting it lower and lower. We got it down to only 300 pounds I'm using right now. But, I'm sure we can get it to a point where we probably won't even need as much as that. But you tell a lot of guys that, and they're blown away. Like, how are you going faster adding 300 pounds? But
yep, you sent me videos of your car before, and I'm like, change that tire pressure and slow that front end down, or it makes a difference. And we us as a team, we video our cars every time they launch, and we'll analyze them and look at them, and we'll talk about it together and say we need to change this and this, and it changes every time because as you go along, the track gets a little stickier, the air gets better, things change, or you throw more power at it, and then you might need to change your tire pressure a little bit because you're hitting it harder, and it changes every time you go up there based off of the conditions and what you're doing.
Yeah.
Now, I can tell you the guys that are in the. Go ahead.
Oh, I would say, does that also go for like your bar angles too? Or are you setting up for some tracks? Like I want to set this car up to separate, especially using a radial. And then you go to like another, like say a better front side. Like say you go from Yellow Belly to like, like say the Roswell race coming up. Are you going to set bar angles up as the one track? You're going to try to get the car to squat, with a bias ply slick, or are you going to keep that radial on for both and just kind of work with that bar angle and find a happy medium?
We're going to keep the radial on.
Okay, so you would just kind of be more dependent on bars.
Probably won't change the bar angle. It would be more shock settings and a little bit of weight and tire pressures for us. Okay. Unless we change to a slick, then you change it up a little bit. But same with a radial, we don't change that a lot.
Oh yeah.
Can't change it a lot anyway with stock suspension.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's the problem, is you're seeing it a lot more in these, budget categories where guys are coming in there with fucking, more pickup points than a radial car half the time.
Yeah. For sure.
I know Pegelos can attest to that with some of the cars you see up there in your stick classes up there. I mean, you suffer kind of the same thing I do, where we deal. Our class has the least amount of rules, so we got to find ways to race within that gray area. But realistically, the whole class is a gray area. It's 28, 10.5 max tire size and H pattern. So there's a lot of things that we can play with and kind of experiment with, I guess. But that's where you see such a versatile group of cars, like we just saw at War in the Woods, where you got a car like Tony's, you got a car like John Leslie, that's a Coyote stock car, and then you got a car like the Real McCoy, which is genuinely a small tire car with a stick shift in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's what he did. He was competing small tire, I think, for a time, and he kind of, from what I understand, kind of decided to get into the stick shift world or classes. But it fits the rules. That's the thing, is it's such a it's basically a small tire with an H pattern. That's the rule set, right? So.
Yep.
Do y'all have the rule up there that if you got a 17-inch or bigger tire, you can run a little bit bigger tire?
Yeah.
Yeah. Usually any tire. Yeah.
Well, I think we need to go to 17s. Is that what I'm hearing?
17.
I would.
Yeah, that might be. That'd be tough to get to work on a stick shift.
Yeah. No, I like my 15s.
Unless you want to do like a 29.5, where it's like a 315, 50, 17. That's what all the fast S550 guys run at the track. But
S550 guys are gay. So I mean, that's a good one to bring up. I'm glad we're talking tires. So obviously you in Texas, Phil, you're in Florida. I know in the Midwest, 28 10 5 is the rule, but I know some guys in Texas, some guys in Florida, it's 29 10 5 is the go-to. That's considered a small tire.
Yeah, there's a few of them doing it.
In my area, it's all 28 10 5 or 275 radial.
Okay, so Florida's learning.
Well, I don't know. I wouldn't say I live in real Florida though. Like like the South, like where it's like Florida, Alabama, Louisiana, like it's just 28s. But down here, like in my area, like they're big on nitrous racing. Like you look at all the rules, and it's like a nitrous only class or single turbos limited, like a 76 millimeter turbo for some reason, just to kind of scare away the turbo cars.
Yeah.
It definitely gets you the most amount of races down here is if you have a small block nitrous car and 28s.
Yeah. In Florida, too, that's probably more beneficial because you make your own atmosphere with how humid and how hot it can be.
Yeah. It's like 85 degrees with like 80 or 90% humidity right now. Like,
jeez.
That's real bad. I've never seen so many people with road rage as when we went to Florida.
We all got that.
I think we were in Florida 10 minutes and we were fixing getting a fight on the highway.
Yeah, that's probably right where I live then. Because I live like right over the border on Florida, like driving east. So you come through on I like that's where I'm at.
I didn't think it was that bad up here, but Tess and Tony said that it was they found it terrible. The drivers and road rage up here in Canada.
Up there?
Yeah.
I wouldn't imagine that in Canada. I feel like you cut somebody off, they'd be like, "Oh, sorry, eh?"
No, I was surprised when they said that. I was like, I didn't think that it was that bad up here, but hey, maybe it is. I'm just used to it, I guess.
It's crazy. Because after meeting you and Ben, I'm like, dude, Canadians are the nicest people ever. Like, I wish everybody could be like Canadians. Minus y'all's voting. That's a different story.
Yeah.
Y'all's government, but I mean, between you and Ben, you guys are some of the most genuine fucking people I've met. I'm like, this is unreal. Like, is it just I live in a shitty area?
No, we got fucking shitheads up here too. I think it's everywhere. Right? You got good people and shitty people everywhere.
Oh yeah, they're everywhere for sure. Man, we hit Florida, and I think we were in Florida 30 minutes and had a gun pulled on us.
Oh fuck!
And we're like, hey, we're from Texas, you know. We have those too. And there's 5 of us and 1 of you.
Let me take a guess. Brent probably caused that one.
No, I don't think we were even doing anything wrong. They were pissed off because we had a big trailer, I guess, on the highway. I don't know. It was terrible.
Fuck that.
Everyone assumes we're nice till they get to the large cities. Yeah, so Toronto would be that spot.
Yeah, Toronto people are weird.
Yeah.
They talk weird.
Our boy Scott there, he's I know Jay and Phil seen, but unfortunately Scott wrecked at Brown County last weekend during that Dragon Drive. So he's local up here. He's stick shift Trans Am. So
yeah,
he bounced off a couple walls down there, unfortunately. So that's fucking terrible to see. And then obviously terrible to see all the accidents that happened this weekend too. And I was telling Jay and the boys, it's got me really questioning my safety in my car because I got no cage and shit. And I'm seeing this stuff and I'm going, holy shit. Like,
yeah. Like when I wrecked my car, I mean, my car was built pretty safe. And I came out with a bruise on my hand is all I had. But, you know, I had my switch broke on the back of the car and it was sitting there hitting and it was arcing and sparking right by my fuel cell. So I'm kind of like, hey, you know, maybe I should put a fire suppressant system in this thing. You know, it's another level of safety, but, you know, it makes you think about it.
Yeah, I've always been pretty naive to it all, and it's honestly been over the past couple of weeks, seeing especially with it happening to Scott, which is friggin' terrible because he's been busting his ass on that car for years to get it out, and he's put a lot of work into that, and a lot of effort to see that happen. Sucks. It's nice that obviously he wasn't hurt, but it really goes in and proves how important the cage and safety equipment is. It could have been a lot worse, right? Car's replaceable, so.
Well, I'm hoping he gets to rebuild it because I did see the video of that, and it did look like a pretty badass car. So I'm hoping Scott, if you're still on here, and I didn't talk my shit to getting you out of here. I hope you get your car running again, and I hope you get it fixed because man, it looked like a badass car, and I say it all the time. Like, man, I couldn't imagine if that was my car. If something like that happened, I'd be tore up. Like, I wouldn't feel right. So I really hope that you're able to bounce back from that and get your car going again, man.
Yeah. 100 mile an hour, not a single mark on me, not a scratch on my helmet either.
That's good.
Make sure you tighten your belts. I didn't move at all. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big one. I see a lot of guys that got, they're half-assed, pieced together 5-point harnesses or Amazon specials, and they're not even sitting in there, not even tight or not even fitting. A lot of guys. I mean, I know before I race, every time, Kim, she comes up to my car and tightens me down, make sure I'm in it and ready to rock. And we've had some, obviously my scary situation last year, and and then it's like you get desensitized from it after a while, and then you see some shit like what just happened at War in the Woods, and kind of strikes you back to reality. Like Jet Black saying about that white fox, that's a local guy to me, Matt Gaskin, and we see his car all the time. It's to now know that car is gone, but the fact that the driver was able to get out and he wasn't injured and he was good to go. It really puts an emphasis on like how fragile the car really is. But if you have the cage, you have the right safety, you're going to be all right.
Yep.
I know. I told you, Chris. I said, I'm looking after seeing that wreck, and we were standing there in the pits. I'm like, I don't think I'm ready. I was talking all that good game that I wanted to race that War in the Woods. I could damn near. I could admit it, man. I ain't ready. I'm not ready to go on that track with that white car yet. So we're gonna sit the next one out and just be some pit bitches some more.
Was that white fox? Was that the car that one of the crew guys was driving?
Yeah.
I thought I know you mentioned something about it. I seen a post today, and I think I thought it was the G body when you said it, but it was the White Fox, eh?
Yeah. So there was a family situation. I don't want to put the guy's business out, but so he couldn't be there, and his crew guy hopped in the car to drive, and that happened. So it's an unfortunate situation, but I know the G body. I think the driver. I know they took him away in an ambulance, I believe, but I know he got out of the car and then he just kind of laid there. It was kind of a scary thing to see, especially the impact that car had. It basically skidded over the guardrail and went head on into the concrete barrier. And you see some shit like that in person, man. You start really thinking about the safety in your own car.
Yeah, it was pretty intense, and even with the White Fox, I know Ben was saying on the live that's the worst wreck he's seen. Like,
yeah,
I think that motorcycle wreck was pretty bad too.
Yeah,
that guy his arms and legs were flailing around, and I was like, man, he's gonna have some broke arms or legs or something. He has to.
Yeah, apparently, as they said when they announced it, I guess he was conscious and talking when they got to him, and the first thing out of that guy's mouth was that he whooped the other dude in the other lane's ass. So he was at least in good spirits.
Yeah.
That was a good thing to hear. So
yeah,
that's always it's just, man, that's kind of the price we risk with doing this no prep shit. And unfortunately, we get looked down on by all the other forms of drag racing. The radial guys, they got to race on flypaper and all this other shit. But realistically, I mean, it could happen anywhere. It could happen to anybody. It just.
I think
When you strap in, it's the risk,
It's any racing, right? You see it in radial racing. There was a vet. I seen a vet that was totally demolished. I don't know what race that was, but it was a radial race from this weekend too.
Yeah.
I don't know if you
His
guys
car
seen
came
that
off
one.
the ground with flying.
Yeah, fuck. Like, you see that car, man?
Yeah, it was bad.
Nothing left of it. Yeah.
Unreal. Another one where the cage did the job, You looked at it at the aftermath pictures, and it was literally just the cage left. It worked as like a containment cell. It's crazy. Aluminum fuel cells need to be phased out. I mean, I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Aluminum fuel cells?
I run a factory.
I can say my aluminum fuel cell took a direct hit, and it just bent and distorted. It did not break and did not leak a drop, and it was full. So my situation, it did its job. It worked fine.
Fuck you, Brandon.
This guy's dying for attention.
That's my buddy Brandon.
Bro,
that y'all seen in
I was
the
trying to
last
figure out,
video.
who the fuck is James?
I know. I'm seeing these comments, and I'm like, who is this dude? I'm like, he's really looking for attention.
Just put my government name out there. That's why he drives a slow ass Camaro. That's the gutted tin can Camaro that I always talk about. We're 1-1. So funny story with that guy, and I'm gonna put it out here because now's your time on the stage, Brandon. We raced one time in Mexico, and his car versus mine, and both on motor, and I had to shit real bad. I mean, I had to shit real bad.
Here we go.
Here we go.
With the sexual shit and the shit.
I'm just saying, I had to shit real bad. And I'm sitting there on the line.
That wasn't your shit at War in the Woods, was it? On the video? Was that
it was
your
a lot. But I'm sitting there. I got my car in a two-step, and my gut's probably doing the same thing. They're both backfiring the same way. And I was like, I'm either going to cut a light and shit my pants, or I'm going to be slow on the light and clench my butthole. And I clenched my butthole, long story short, and he got me by about 2 cars out the hole. And I just didn't have enough real estate to catch him. And then, ironically, the week after, Uno card hits, and we go to race again, and he's got a shit real bad. So then I cut the light on him. I 60 him. I get him, and then he's over here driving around all of Gary, Indiana, looking for a place to shit. So it's good. He's good. He's good people, man. That's like a brother to me right there. So, we always talk a little shit back and forth and give each other. He said you had to shit because you were afraid to see my taillights.
He had some bad talk. It was
bullshit. That's that gas station fucking Habibi food you be eating. Sick fucker.
So do you think Jeff will run the stick shift class again? 7 cars.
I hope he does. I mean, it's, I've seen a lot of races where you go and the first time you run something, it's kind of that way, unless you can just really hype it up. But it's a cool class.
And I think we saw some of the faster. I mean, again, nothing on True Street or small tire. But I will say some of the stick races, like the race between Tony and John, if you watch that race, it's like, man, they were moving. Like they were hauling ass pretty good. And
Yeah.
it's like you see some of the other classes and even like some of the cars in the other classes. I mean, I hate to say it, but there were some cars in True Street that weren't even moving that fast or that damn controlled down the track. And it makes for good racing. But we do need more of a car count. And I'm going to take a second here to also talk a little bit of shit. Because I was getting shit talked for the last couple weeks because, my motor's been blowing up and it's, well, you're making excuses. You just need to put a truck motor in it. Just make it. And last minute, all these people that were talking all this shit, where the fuck were you guys? I seen a lot of guys on Facebook. Oh, if you don't make it here, you're making excuses. And those same motherfuckers didn't show up. Oh, I had a bad throwout bearing. It just wasn't spaced right. I didn't want to risk it, but I was supposed to risk it on a stock truck motor that had 180,000 miles and sludge in it. Fuck you, motherfuckers. And when y'all see this, y'all know who the fuck I'm talking about. I'm not going to name names and give y'all any fucking shine. Fuck you, motherfuckers. So, sorry, I had to get that off my chest.
I hope he runs it again. Like it's a fun class. It's hard to get car counts though for stick shift classes, unfortunately.
It really is.
I think that's just because it's so wide open, right? So it's a tough. Like I would have been there if my car was good and I could have made it. I would have been there regardless, even though my car wouldn't be competitive against some of those cars. It's still the experience, right? That I'd like to experience making a pass down Brown County, but I guess we'll see in September what happens if he brings it back. So
yeah, I hope he brings it back and tries it again.
Yeah. I think it's got potential. It's just something that's got to hang in there and grow slowly. I mean, we've been seeing that with our local race with the Streetcar Brawl, where, it used to be 4 or 5 guys every time. And then the last couple of classes, we're starting to see new faces and new cars coming in. And yeah, see, there goes one of them right there. But yeah, you see, that's what I'm talking about. You're exactly what I was talking about. Your car could break and it's fine. My car breaks and I'm supposed to just throw it together and show up. This is the first time I'm not doing my own work because I know we're trying to throw that card in here now. And I've done my own work for the last 10 years. And now I just got lazy because I fucking work on cars all day. Hey, whatever. It's nice to be able to afford something for a change. But yeah, so this is going to be a good episode. Where was I? Where was I going with this? I'm trying to behave now. I'm drinking liquid death, so I'm sober, so this is going to be even worse.
What a crazy time, though, man. Like, Jeff Thomas, shout out to that guy. That guy's a fucking beast.
For sure.
Like,
I mean, he had
holy shit,
everything against him to not do that race, and he said, no, I'm doing it.
Dude, he's a bad motherfucker.
Yeah.
I was gonna fucking cry when he got everything done on Friday night and the cars are in the lanes and it opens up. I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm like, these poor fuckers all day bringing in equipment, bringing in gravel, like just holy fuck, man. Like, it just keeps going. Like, and then out there welding up the rails and fucking smashing them in, and it's just like, damn, man, like you're an animal.
I don't think most people understood at the end of the track on Friday night that it was seeping water, and the whole track was hydraulic, and so you had to. I told him to go down there, and me and I think it was Limpy told him to go down there and drill some holes to relieve that water, and then it quit hydraulicing, but it was like walking on a trampoline.
Shit was bad.
I mean, everything that was thrown against him, he overcame it and did it. I mean, props to him and his whole crew for sure.
Yeah.
And on top of that, him racing in his own event too, and actually going out and competing. Like, you already got enough on your plate, and you're also going to sit here and say, "Fuck it, I want to become a part of the show, and I want to go out and race too." Like, That is a bad man right there. Like, that dude deserves nothing but respect. Again, there's a lot of guys that are going to shit talk on Brown County on the surface. These are guys that are never going to race there. And like most of the time, the bracket racers, if you see them on Facebook and you look at their profiles, they're talking shit about War in the Woods, the bracket guys. But if you see what Jeff Thomas does and you see the man in person working his ass off and what he does and what he brings to the table, there's not a single person on planet Earth that can say a bad thing about that man. He deserves all the respect.
Yep, for sure. I mean, I've ran a lot of races, and there's no way I would try to race at the same time. It's just too much going on.
Absolutely. It's just like, and then on top of that too, like, I mean, he had a guy pretty much full time on the dozer towing out trailers. I mean, our trailer, our team's trailer for one of them, having to get pulled out by the dozer. There was a big old, I didn't put it in my video. I didn't get a video of it because I was kind of awestruck in myself, but a big old camper with like a stacker behind it. They're pulling that out with the dozer, like guy full time on that dozer, getting dirt moved, getting mud moved out, trying to make a solid ground for people to get by. Like, dude, what a way to fucking just control the chaos, man.
Yeah, I talked to Happy after it was over with, and he said that Jeff spent the whole day on the dozer pulling people out on Sunday.
Yeah.
Shit.
You don't see that. You don't see that with other promoters. There's not many promoters that you can be like, that's a fucking genuine person. Like, a lot of guys are in it for the cash grab or for the clout of like, oh, well, I could throw a race and say I did this. But you could tell with Jeff, man, there's just a certain passion there, like him wanting to actually do it and make a place
He
for
loves
guys
it.
like us.
He probably lost money. He probably lost money this weekend, bringing in all that equipment and all that gravel and shit.
Gravel,
man.
yeah,
that ain't cheap.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've helped with a lot of races, and you got to have a solid team behind you and people that you trust to do their job, or you don't have to babysit them, and it just makes everything work smooth.
Yeah,
and I feel like they have that up there.
Yeah. There is no quitting any of them guys. His team, like, there's just, I mean, even the people as far as simple as even seeing some of the racers' wives working the front gate and like trying to like direct traffic and shit like that. Like, it was really a team effort for everybody. Yeah. I mean, even on Sunday, and it's another thing we didn't mention, but like they even made an announcement. They're willing to pay just spectators. They're like, hey, well, if you don't mind cleaning up, we'll throw you some cash. Just bring garbage bags up, this, and that. Like, wanting to take care of their place, and it's like there's just this actual love for what they do and the place that they race at, and I can't say that there's really there. I don't see that shit anywhere else. I really don't. It's like that's kind of class act racing needs nowadays.
Yep.
But I don't know. I think we'll see another stick class there. I think we're going to see at least one more, and probably I would say the same for the Nitrous Mayhem class. I do see that coming back in September, but I really hope that both classes can get a bigger car count to stay a constant class. But I mean, if they have a place for bikes to race and they even had that big tire class, I mean, let's be honest, it may be 7 cars, but we outnumbered big tire.
Yeah. And I mean, looking at some of the cars, I think if they could open it up to where people could double enter, because like Tony was wanting to run the stick shift class, but he was wanting to run the Nitrous Mayhem class too.
Yeah.
And I think he would have done good in both, but he couldn't double enter. But I mean, you just have to tell the people, hey, you got 20 minutes to turn your car around. If we call you and you're not there, you lose. Yeah. And stick to it. But I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't open it up and let people double enter as long as they can make the call.
Yeah. I think that's what a lot of it is. I mean, I think it's a double-edged sword there where, it'd be good to have people double enter so you could fill in more car count. But at the same time, you do have a lot of people that take advantage of that. I mean, we see that on a lot of classes here and a lot of the events we run where there's guys that take advantage of that, double or even triple entering. And it's like, well, I'm just going to drag my feet and take my sweet ass time because I got done with one class. And now, you go from stick shift to true street or whatever. And it's like, well, I need 35 minutes because I just ran this. Like, dude, we all got 15.
Fuck no.
Yeah, well, that's the problem is you got some promoters that favor those guys and let them get away with that shit.
Yeah, I mean, I think Tony's car would have fit in True Street pretty good too.
Yeah. I think he would have been competitive.
I mean,
to be honest.
We were talking with, and he wasn't that far off.
Yeah. I think that's the other thing too, is when it comes to stick shift, it's kind of the same thing that you see in the true street class. There's a lot of guys that just think they're flat out going to get their shit kicked in because they think they're going to pull up and there's going to be a 4-second car in the other lane. But realistically, you just got to go up and take that fucking gamble and just say, fuck it. I just got to do me. I got to make my A to B pass and fuck whoever's in the other lane. And not saying that in a disrespectful manner, just again, lack of a better term, but you really just got to do you and go A to B. I want to give a big shout out to Mike Tannis with that black Fox body that was running in True Street. He was one of the ones that told me he's a customer over at where I work. And, we were talking and he was like, a lot of guys were turning their cars up. My car, I left alone. I just went A to B every time and kept it consistent.
Yeah.
And he went last War in the Woods to the semifinal. I think he went to the final, and Gaskin beat him because I think he got a DQ for touching the grass. But I think that's another thing. It's kind of the same concept like we were talking earlier with overbuilding. Is racing's the same thing. A lot of guys think that the grub worms, the Granises, all these radial badasses, those are the guys that are going to show up. A lot of times you just got to go and you just got to take that fucking risk and say, hey, roll the dice and see what happens,
Yep.
Well, I think it happened too, right? We've seen it many times, and I didn't really pay a ton of attention to that final there with Tony, but I think from what I read, and it did look like Mike, like Drew McCoy, he lost a gear or something with the training at the end because you could see that the power came out near the end. But anything can happen, right?
Yeah.
I was talking to Jonathan Atkins at FL2K, I was talking to his dad. And he's like, it's stick shift racing. The fastest car doesn't always win. And he brought up the Wisconsin stick shift challenge where Perez beat the grub worm in the finals, and no one thought that was going to happen. Like the car was running flawless all night, A to B, and then something happened and it turned off.
Yeah. Those upsets are crazy. That's what me and John were talking about that when we were in the lanes. I'm like, you do understand if you beat Tony right now, that's going to be insane. Like that's going to be a massive upset, and there's going to be a lot of money lost. But at the same time, if he beats
y'all would have won $100.
$20.
No, they had $100 bounty on him.
Oh no shit!
Yeah.
I don't even know about
really?
that. I
didn't know about that either.
Garrett's got that right there. Consistency wins. Like consistency is a big thing. Like even with my car's not that quick, and a couple of years it did really well, but it was super consistent, right?
Yeah, we've actually never talked about that. We should talk about that since you're bringing that up. But let's about your win streak. I remember that one summer. I mean, this is before we were even linked up and doing any of this. But I remember watching your videos, and it seemed like damn near every event you went out to, you were cleaning house.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, like that was a good season, and it was super. The car was super consistent, but it was also, racing cars that were pretty, similar ET wise back then, right? Like the class was pretty tight, pretty close, right? It was competitive racing. But that year was the year that they had the series at OSO, and it was a points deal, and at the end you get a Wally in the stick shift class, and I got that Wally, but. The one guy locally here, Boss Racing, they've got their stick shift car that they typically race in stick shift, but they were in an NA class that year. But he did bring it back to stick shift for the last race of the season there, and he lost their gear, right? So I ended up beating him. Like stick shift, anything can happen. Even not necessarily just stick shift, any class, anything can happen. Cars break, shit happens, right? But
yeah, it's. Well, I mean, shit. Raska, I'm sure you could attest on half the things you see at Yellow Belly.
Yeah.
Not to mention, not to mention that big backfire that you saw at Small Bear Gang.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
you were running the lane.
Yep.
That was loud.
That was my favorite was the guy in the one clip. He must have been high as fuck. He's like looking around up in the sky, and you can tell he's fucked. It's already landed. He's just out to lunch.
Yeah, that's the first time I've ever seen a hood come apart where the outer layer leaves and the inner layer is still attached to the car.
Yeah.
I mean, it just totally separated it. And most people missed the night before. I'm sitting there in a Blazers doing a burnout, and he goes over and he kind of lightly taps the fence, and he comes back around with the back of the car coming towards the center of the track. And I'm like, oh shit. So I jump off of that platform that I'm on, and he hits the barrels, and one of those barrels flies and hits me in the leg. And I'm like, man, I was like, this is a bad weekend.
Bro, what the fuck?
Were you there that night? Like, I think it was it Small Tire Gangsters? There was that one race where the one guy jumped in front of the car when the light went green.
Yep. Yeah, I was there.
What ended up happening with that race? Because like that guy in the right lane was fucked.
That's kind of that's one of his buddies.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jeez.
Bad deal.
So what's going to happen with Small Tire Gangsters? I heard some. Whatever,
I don't know.
The last race is there going to be another one at Yellow Belly, or is it kind of just in the air right now? Or
there's going to be another one. I don't know. Can't speak for as to where it's going to be, but I think they're exploring options because they're almost to the point they're overgrowing Yellow Belly.
Yeah.
I mean, it's they're packing the house every night to the point that nobody can get in or out. And I think they might explore some options, but it is kind of cool keeping it at Yellow Belly. I mean, Yellow Belly is part of the vibe.
Yeah,
and why that race is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And Yellow Belly, I mean, talk about a home for upsets and you know, crowd favorites, man. That energy there looks unreal. You know, I watch a lot of the grudge stuff, obviously the Thursday night shenanigans all the time. And you guys raced at the randomest times, Sunday nights, Thursday nights. It's like, that's fucking wild. And that place is packed on a Thursday night.
Yeah, I mean, we're going tomorrow night. I gotta tune this one for pinks, and then I've got a Hellcat that I put nitrous on, and I gotta go help tune it tomorrow too. So, Yellow Belly trip tomorrow.
It's gonna be a good time.
And then Roswell, New Mexico this weekend.
You got a busy schedule. I don't know how you do it. I don't know how the hell you do it.
I mean, when you're doing what you love to do, it's not really work. You just got to keep going.
Before you hopped in, Jay, Brent was that the Pink's car that Brent was sitting in?
Yeah.
At the beginning of the video, yeah.
Yeah.
So you can show that too, then?
I can show it to you.
Yeah.
I'll walk out there. Oh.
Uh-oh.
Well, I had to get up out of the chair.
We're going on a field trip.
Cody's been powder coating.
What up?
What's up? He's kind of a bronzy color right now. Do what? Oh, you got it done? Yeah, I'll show you this color we're doing. It's razor. We have a big oven.
Field trip.
There's some parts we're doing for a memorial wall. We have a 24-foot oven.
Oh, nice.
Here's some parts for a razor.
That color's sick.
There's a roll cage for it.
Nice.
Yeah, they still got it out here. Am I still on there? Because I lost all y'all in the picture.
Oh, yeah, you're still here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we just put it on.
We got it zoomed in right now.
See.
Got Cody's lightning here. We got to do some work too.
Nice.
Shit.
Hell yeah. Love me a lightning.
Valley's
We'll put a lift kit on it.
Well,
brand new truck. Got to put a 6-inch lift on it. Here's the pink oil car.
Oh, shit.
Oh, new edge.
Yeah, it's a low LS60 with crossbar plate.
Carbureted. Oh, shit.
Yeah, a lot of those guys are carbureting them, taking fuel injection off.
Now, do you feel there's more of a gain to having that carbureted setup than the injection?
Not really.
Just more of a tunability kind of thing?
Here's my little truck. It's sitting over here in the back.
Oh yes,
That
that
thing's so
nice.
sweet.
I'll get to working on it one day.
Extended cab too, sick.
Yeah, we
I
got a
need to,
pretty full shop. Cody's car,
What's
it's right here.
what's the rule set for pinks?
I haven't even really paid attention to it. I think it has to be a small block, any power adder, door car.
Okay.
That's about it. I got a big block S10.
Nice.
fuck, that color is badass.
Got a little G body
All right, now that's more my taste right there.
Oh yeah, me
block.
too.
I got a C10 up here with a Pro Charger and a big block.
And you got the gold Bogarts. Hell yeah.
Another S10. Hey, there's my motor out of my car.
Hey, let me borrow that, Chris. I need to borrow that for a weekend.
And here's another little secret car we're working on for Frankenstein.
Trans Am.
There's
Yeah.
there's Cody from Frankenstein,
What's up, Cody?
Hey, buddy.
and here's the giveaway car for Brent Albury Hate Train.
Hell yeah.
I think
You want to plug your deal real quick, Brent?
What's cracking,
Oh,
buddy?
there he is.
What's up?
Fucking slaving away. You got-
Pretending to work anyway. We decking this whole Fox body out so we can give it away.
So let's hear the details on that giveaway. Let's go ahead and plug it here on Stick Talk.
Yeah, man, we're putting a bunch of tubular suspension on it. It's a LS swap Fox body, a little turbo 350. It's a 1980 Fox, just a little street car, throwing some nitrous on it, a bunch of bolt-ons. All you gotta do, go to Hey Train Fox. All you have to do is go to heytrainfox.com. Every order $10 or more gonna get you an entry into the giveaway, and then anything over $60 gets you double entries. So you go in there and you buy 2 shirts and a hat, you're gonna get double entries. You're gonna get. I'm not really good at quick math, but that's a lot of entries right there. You know, 15 entries typically. Yeah. See, that's why we got the Frankenstein guy. Big old fingers right in the way, Dad. There you go. Oh yeah. We heard about them fingers. You know, we heard about them fingers.
Shit,
I hate getting a
that's
wet willy
the
with one of them fucking things.
Yeah. Break your eardrum out.
What?
When you were on the camera down there,
Oh.
it was like eyes and above.
Yeah, all the support, man, just helps our race program, keeps us going. You know, we don't have a big race team. It's just a bunch of guys, a bunch of buddies kind of keeping our race cars together. And you guys going there and buying some merch not only helps our race program, but then also gives you a chance to win something that you could turn into a race car or something, you know? So LS Swap Fox Body would be pretty fun.
Exactly. And that means all the subscribers that are here in the live chat, this is your chance to go get that LS Swap Fox body, and you can put a stick in it, just saying, if you win
dude.
it.
You can put
Yeah, bro. If I had more time and
Oh,
money,
shit.
it would leave with a stick in it. It would leave with a stick. So not a lot of people know my Fox actually originally was built with a T56 in it. It never came out with a T56, but it was originally built with a T56 in it. And I had hopes and dreams of like doing all this racing with a stick shift and I had a few buddies kind of talk me out of it. And they said, nah, man, you want to be consistent, you need to put a power glide in there. But I really wish I would have put a stick in that thing, man. It'd be so much funner.
It'd be a badass.
I didn't know
car,
you were
sure.
a stick guy. That's badass. You even got the
Oh,
tattoo.
dude, I love a stick shift car, bro. Every one of my race cars has always been a stick shift car, like stick shift nitrous cars. I mean, they've been slow. They've all ran like 11s in the quarter mile, you know, back in the day. And then the Fox was like the first real fast car I've had. We've been into that for about 6 years or so. But yeah, I've always had stick shift. Like I had some Liberty built trans, and I had a Tremec TKO 600 in one of my Foxes before. Like, I mean, I've had a lot of. Man, I don't know if I ever showed you pictures. I had a Roush List of Fun Little Daily Driver made like 650, and it had a TKO 600 in it. And
Yeah.
I love it, dude. I miss grabbing a gear, just having fun on the highway, and someone wants to come up and play with you. You know, you're shifting. It's so much more fun than just letting the car do what it's supposed to do.
Especially for a street car.
Yeah, it's way better for a street car.
Oh,
Way
fuck yeah.
I think.
Absolutely. Well, if we ever get you Texas boys up here in Chicago, I'll throw you the keys. You can go have some fun.
Yeah, heck yeah, for sure, man. That'd be a good time, bro. I appreciate
Yeah,
that.
he's used to 11-second cars.
Yeah, he'll be fine. He'll be fine in my 11-second pro mod.
Yeah, he's driven lots of 11-second stick shift cars.
I like how you caught up on what I was doing there when I was setting up there. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When he said they all ran 11s.
Yep, this one has an LS in it,
car,
too.
perfect.
Crossbar plate.
Hey, y'all LS swapping the world down there. Uh-oh, did we lose him?
Oh, you might jump to stick cars are more consistent now than ever. That's the Garrett's plug there for the third leg.
That's a
That's
fact.
its motto.
Yeah.
That's a fact. I mean,
So,
I know we've all taken out a lot of auto cars between all three of us.
oh yeah. I don't think Garrett was on when I made the comment that I don't even want to race my car until I've got the third leg in there.
And you don't want to risk it.
Oh, you're back now.
There we go. We thought you just got tired of us. You're like, oh, these slow ass stick shift guys.
Nah, I was in the back shop, and internet service is kind of horrible back there.
Fair enough. I didn't know Brent was such a stick shift guy. Now I'm like, oh man, he's good with us.
Yeah.
Oh hell yeah!
I remember him talking about it, but he didn't ever really go into any details. Cody's car had a stick shift in it when he first got it.
Yeah, because right now, I would say what Tony's holding it down for you guys with the stick shift stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Just fingers crossed he never puts an auto on that white car. I'm like, man, please don't. That's a bad unit right there.
I don't think he will.
I
couldn't
not.
see him doing that.
I don't know. I'm still slightly butthurt seeing the gray mare with an auto in it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just like, man, come on now. It's got to get a stick back in it.
I haven't gave it to him yet. We scored you know how Brent's always got the duck thing going on?
Yep.
Yeah.
I scored a 3D printer yesterday.
Oh, fuck. Here we go.
And I printed him a little duck.
Oh, nice.
That's fucking dope.
That
Flip
is
it
sick.
off.
Oh, it's got the middle finger.
You
Yeah.
gotta send me one of those because I've been a first round duck all year so far.
I never heard what happened with Back to the Streets in the stick class. I don't know if Scott's still on here. He might be able to chime in. Who ended up winning that? Did you hear anything, Jay?
I haven't heard anything on that actually. I've been wanting to find out because that was an event that I would have liked to have done. Like if I'm gonna do a drag and drive, I think that would be the one. But I haven't heard much about it, and I'd like to learn a lot more about that event. So if there's anybody in the comment section that can tell us about Back to the Streets and kind of your experience and what happened with that thing, we'd definitely like to know because that would be pretty sick. I mean, that wouldn't be a bad drive for you either.
No, it's super, super close. I just seen a post tonight because I know everyone that's gone, they've had a great time. And I know some people were wanting a second event for this year with Back to the Street, but I think Matt's the guy that runs it, and he made a comment that they can only run one a year or whatever, but might be something to look into for. Yeah, well, that's the thing. You do it too much, and it becomes oversaturated, right? Do it once a year, at least people will look forward to it, kind of deal. So, yeah, I didn't see anything out there for who won the stick shift class, so it'd be cool to find out who ended up taking the hardware home for that one.
What about you, Raska? Any plans in drag and drive stuff? I know these guys are trying to pressure me to be a drag and drive guy, and kind of scared to get on my show.
That's kind of why I bought that LTD. I thought I might do it. I just haven't had the time to. Well, I hadn't really had time to work on any of my cars. I've been working on everybody else's stuff, trying to keep it going. But so yeah, I got to kind of figure out. I think it'd be cool to do.
You got any of those out there in Texas? I know that's obviously a big state. They could probably host a damn drag and drive with all the tracks you guys got out there and all the land
there's
out there.
A few. They're doing one from the Abilene track this year. It'll go to, I think, from Abilene to Roswell to, I think, Hobbs, and then Midland and Concho Valley and back around. It's kind of a big circle.
Yeah, Hobbs looks like a badass track too. That one looks like it's. I would say that's probably another bucket list track for me to try to get down to there. It looks fun.
Yep.
The Indian Valley, that's the one with the one that has the fucking the concrete block between the two staging lanes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's got it's just an old airstrip they used back in the day.
okay.
It's about as close to a street as you're gonna get.
If I can get the Canadian out from old Canada and get him down to Texas, that'd be fun.
Like out of
Yeah.
all the people that have been there, I don't think anybody's been faster than a 550 something with any caliber of car.
Yeah, see, that's a big thing. And you know what, that'd be a good one to educate some people here too. Is a lot of guys think. So if you run a certain, like you say, you have an all-out chassis car, but you go on a surface like that, you run a 550, and you got a car that you know is a high 4-second, mid 4-second killer on a prop surface, and then guys will down you. So I got that situation with mine because so we take my car out, on the nitrous setup, it went 640s, but that's how the whole joke started about the 11-second pro mod because we're racing on a shit surface. Car couldn't do better than a 730, so it's an 11-second car now. But
Yeah.
a lot of guys don't understand that depending on the surface is going to really dictate how fast you could actually go. And it's a tuner's game of setting the car up to run on that surface. And it's really testing the talent and the parts you have realistically.
Correct. I mean, there's guys with cars that are capable of running mid fours out there that'll run a 550, 560.
No prep is a humbling experience. And it always seems like the guys that race on the fly paper, those are the guys that have the biggest opinion about it, but you will never see them do it.
Yep, for sure.
When you were talking about being in Florida, were you over there with Brent for the Cletus deal?
Yeah, we did the all-wheel drive versus rear-wheel drive. But before that, we went down there for World Series Pro Mod.
Oh, okay, so you did both, yeah.
Yeah, that was a pretty cool deal. I've never seen so many pro mods and that caliber of car in one place. That place was packed.
Oh yeah, I've seen shots from over top of when that event's going on, and it's just jammed.
Yeah, they were pitting people in the Freedom Factory. The track was so packed.
Goddamn. How many? What was the car count like? Offhand, like kind of roughly how many cars there were in competition?
Not total, I don't, but I mean we had, I want to say 60 or 70 in Little Gangsters.
Holy shit!
Yeah,
Oh yeah, I forgot Little Gangsters ran there.
it was wild.
Fuck.
Oh yeah, because Corley ran in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they give, I don't know, what drags it out for me is like the Little Gangsters thing when they first started it was set up with off the trailer, no test pass. I think they gave us 2 test passes. Of course, I get the platform they're on. They want to allow a test pass, and people went a long way to get there. But that I don't know. For me, that deal was, I think the results would have been different if it was off the trailer.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that we would have done any better, but we fumbled considerably out there. But I think that's what makes that class cool is it's off the trailer.
Yeah.
Now I guess
that class
be
was blowing up like crazy.
yeah.
Yeah.
I guess it'd be a good time to ask about that all-wheel drive versus rear-wheel drive thing. I mean, what your experience? What did you? I mean, what was your takeaways from that event, and what do you think could be better, or what do you think would make that more of a fair fight? Because I hear a lot of guys, they say, well, it's not fair that everybody had to do dry burnouts and all this other shit. What do you think that things that could change, and what were your takeaways and your experience from that?
I think the drive burnout thing was definitely hard for the rear wheel drive guys because all their cars are set up to hook on gravel, and it's hard to get your tires hot when they're just trying to hook. People were trying to put a jack underneath there, and some guys even talked about taking and throwing a little bit of sand out there on the track and starting to burn out in the sand and then going off the sand onto the track. And it was definitely hard for the rear wheel drive guys to get a burnout.
Yeah.
So just because of the chassis setups and everything. So I mean, I think that was a key role there.
out of the rear wheel drive guys, I mean, it seemed like the Tabors were doing good from Dirty Dollars. Those guys, I mean, they had their burnout shit figured out. There were some bad dudes out there for sure, but if it was more of like if you were honestly able to get the burnouts in and get the cars to work, I mean, obviously everybody, the crowd favorites always beater bomb, but I mean, who do you think would have won that if it was more of a fair fight, at least on a rear wheel drive? If rear wheel drive was to take the win on that outcome, I mean, do you think did you have a favorite, or do you think somebody really out there had like probably the potential to carry the rear wheel drive team?
I think there's several people out there that had potential to carry it. I know everybody's times were way off from what they normally run.
Yeah.
And I mean, on the same top surface, just because of the conditions and everything and the way it was set up. So had the rear wheel drive guys been able to do their thing, I think it would have been a little bit different.
Absolutely.
Well, I think I heard he's going to allow water burnouts for the next one.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be a game changer. I think there's going to be a lot of upsets with just being able to have that, to be honest. So, I mean, it seemed like some guys, I mean, from what I saw, they were able to leave the line well, but as soon as you brought in power, it started just hazing the tire because the tire wasn't sticky. You had nothing going there. So it's like as soon as you get past the 60 foot, I mean, some guys, even as they were coming up to the 60, were already white smoking the tires. You got to have that mix of like when to let out and know when I can push it, kind of thing. But I mean, all-wheel drives, they can blaze the front tires. They're still going.
Yep.
So I think that water burnout's going to really change the game.
Yep. I mean, even the number that Brent ran with his car after he fired it back up and just made a lick down through there, it would have been pretty competitive.
That was a fun.
And just knowing the numbers that we ran at, say, Yellow Bell, at Indian Valley as well. I mean, we've run some pretty fast numbers at both those places.
Yeah.
And we even tested with no water burnout at Indian Valley, and I mean, we were running fast.
Well, I think you guys posted a video of a pass on the street just before loading it up to head to Florida.
That was right out here in front of the shop.
Was it?
It was fast.
Yeah, it looked like it. Yeah, it looked fast.
Yeah,
that's why it was such a piss off too to see what happened there with it just fucking dying on the line. Because I know you guys couldn't work because I think Brent had posted because he's like, we're not going to make this. We're fucked. And then boom, it was back together. It made that pass on the street, and it was like, okay, he's in.
Yeah, he's like, we're done. And we pushed him. We're like, no, we can yank the heads off. We can do this, do that, and have it going. And we got it back together. And then something else happened, and he's like, I'm done. Oh, the transmission was messed up. He's like, I'm done. And I was like, well, so-and-so's got a transmission. We can yank it out, put it in there. He's like, nah, I'm done. And then the next morning he called me and he goes, think we can get that transmission out and swapped and get it tested? And I'm like, yep, here we go.
Yeah.
he caught his fourth win.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had to keep motivating him there for a while. It's frustrating when your car's not working.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's what it takes is others to motivate you to keep it going. Because like we've all been there. We're like, just fuck it, throw in the towel. And then it's like, no, let's go. Let's get her done.
Yeah, Cody had the same string of bad luck there for a while. I mean, I think he's on motor number 7 in a year.
Jesus.
And it's just been all stupid stuff. Yeah, hopefully we've worked all the bugs out of it, and this time when we put it back together, we don't have any issues.
Yeah, that's
Jeff
the thing that gets
Jet's comment there with the all-wheel drive F-150 seem reliable. That's definitely true, but that just made me think of something. I thought Crazy Horse was going to be at More in the Woods. I could have swore he was supposed to be there. Yeah, I wonder what happened with that.
Don't know.
You know what? There was a lot of cars though that were new, and there was a lot of cars that said they were going to be there that weren't. There was a lot, like I said, there was a lot of new faces. I know that for sure.
Andrew Lavender's fast
so many times. Oh hell yeah, Andrew Lavender's a bad motherfucker.
Yeah, he is.
Oh, yeah.
That dude's got a fucking rocket. that was another one I was really surprised didn't go as many rounds at War in the Woods because he's usually a top contender.
Yep.
Yeah, there was. It's kind of like with War in the Woods. It really reminds me of the OG COTS days, where like, for the first 6 events, you had this badass group of guys that you'd see those cars every time. Guys become fan favorites and stuff like that. And then, just after a few, you're like, man, there's new faces. Who the fuck's this? Who the fuck's that? And the vibe just changes, sometimes for better, sometimes for worse. But I will say that a lot of the new cars that showed up at War in the Woods this year, it's looking very good.
Yeah.
Looking very good. And I firmly do feel like that stick class is going to grow for that exact reason. Is you're giving a new group of guys room to play now.
Yeah, and if you stick to a good set of rules that make sense, then people cater their cars to that rule set, and you'll get more the next time.
Yep. Yeah, that's the thing, is that like which I'm very happy to see with True Street, is that there's kind of more of a universal like True Street rule set for guys to build their cars around. But there's so many other classes where, again, the tire one, depending where you go in the country, 29 10.5 is a small tire. Other places 28. There's so many different rule sets, different changes. Like, that was a big thing with small tire, and that's why there's so many different small tire classes. You know what I mean? It's like, when you start seeing those universal rule sets like True Street or like Stick Shift, as broken as it is, it's kind of cool because you can build and tailor your car to that, where you're like, okay, this is all I need to do to make the requirements,
Correct.
Yeah, Lavender was on a hard tire, wasn't he? I thought I seen.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I thought. Yeah.
Yeah, I think. Oh, yeah. He's saying it now. Yeah, I think he was in the second chance deal. I guess he won it.
Fuck yeah.
Oh shit.
Hell yeah.
Okay, I think that's where I seen that he was on a hard tire. I seen the picture that he had won, so I guess the second chance he scooped it up.
I was so tired by that point. I was about to fall asleep standing up.
Yeah, I don't know how you did it. I think I was sitting down eating fajitas at a Mexican restaurant in Nashville, the only Mexican restaurant in probably the state of Indiana, unless you're going to Gary. We're in Nashville, and we're sitting there at this Mexican restaurant eating fajitas, and I'm pretty sure that's when all that was going down. But I know the second I got into that car to drive home, I was knocked out, let the old lady drive, and said, I'll see you when we get home.
There we go. I don't know why it keeps cutting out. Probably horrible service.
No.
It's the tumbleweeds down there in Texas.
Probably.
Or they got confused. Instead of stealing the catalytic converters, they tried to take the copper out of your wires.
Man, we had a rainstorm here yesterday afternoon. It was raining so bad you couldn't see 20 feet in front of you, and the wind was blowing 80 miles an hour, and it was hailing.
Fuck.
It lasted for about 20 minutes.
That was bad.
It was horrible.
Gabe's asking who's driving the Pigs car. I think you mentioned it earlier.
Don Burns. He actually raced on Pinks before and won.
No shit.
Yeah. Yep. I don't remember what car he had or anything, but yeah, he raced on it before and won.
I'm just glad that they're going to have a different host this time around, because man, I don't want to see no swan diving and any weirdos falling off of bikes again.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, y'all remember, I'm sure y'all remember that one.
Yeah. Cody just rode in on the death scooter.
Oh,
Cody bought the scooter. It's that one I had at the track. That thing's knocked 3 people to the ground and dislocated shoulders and all kinds of stuff. It's a bad thing to ride.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad you guys had nowhere to ride it on that.
Yeah, it didn't want to work out there. It saw that mud and it was like,
I can almost guarantee JoJo would have probably got hurt in that thing.
Yeah, for sure.
I would have laughed for 5 minutes, then made sure he was okay.
Any updates on your car, Jay?
Well, yeah, actually, we'll have it back this weekend. Fingers crossed. And then once I get it back, already talked to Manny at HPP. We're going to go ahead and get the base tune situated. I'm already getting situated with getting some dyno time. Already talked to Adam today at work. We're going to get some dyno time going on. I'm gonna wire up the nitrous and wire up the scramble button because it ain't gonna catch me slipping again. And get all my break-in miles on the new clutch because I finally put a new clutch in the thing, which has been overdue for a long time.
What'd you put in it?
XD, same one you got, the Mach 700
600?
or yeah,
600.
yep,
Yeah.
or yeah, 600. Got that in there, and from what I was told by Manny, this is going to be, hey, let's break the internet because I said I had a stock motor. Well, guess what? I don't. We're good for 1100. So that's like on kill. I'm going to probably down tune it so I can keep it alive. And I don't think on the surface we're racing on, we're going to need 1100. If I do, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. But we're going to probably down tune it for like 850, 900 and let it live a happy life for at least this season. And then,
Yeah, that's what we said too. We were going to build a motor for X amount of horsepower and down tune it, and we hadn't turned it down yet. We keep turning it up.
Well, the problem is I already blew one up on Manny, and we didn't have our final data logs to turn it up more, and I kind of went against and said, I'll be fine, and well, it wasn't fine, and I'll take full blame for that one. So I don't want to blow another motor up on him, so he doesn't yell at me and be like, dude, stop blowing shit up before we're done with it. So I'm gonna actually go through the whole thing and make sure this car is right. I know I have that other boost controller I'd like to get situated, but I think the whole plan is to just get the car together, get some testing in. As many races as I missed, I'm kind of falling down on that point series, but I'm like, I really want to go out and I want to get back into grudge racing, man. I want to start grudge racing the car on the street. See what I can do if the car is able to hang with some of these, daily drivers and small tire
if you
cars.
bring it in June, we got you.
Against me, or are you guys crewing with me? That's the question.
Both.
Fuck.
We'll fix it against a little black fox body.
Well, the good thing is, the good thing about that is if I lose, I know where I have to shoot to be faster. So that would actually be a good teaching moment. But if I win, I would feel great.
Make sure you
Kim
get that
says
no
keep
lift
the
shift
train.
feature.
What's up, Phil?
Make sure you get that no lift shift wired up or set up on that 2P.
Yeah, I can't raw dog it no more on that either because that's what hurt the motor. So I'm gonna have to figure. There's a lot of learning I have to do, and I just figured out the boost controller has more features, but I have an AMS 1000, and Adam has talked to me about putting onboard air on the car, so maybe we'll do that.
The internet keeps cutting out, doing something weird.
It's the aliens. You keep talking about Roswell.
Element 115.
Oh, there he goes
Bob
again.
Lazar.
I'm telling you, it's either the aliens, because he's talking about Roswell, or it's the aliens that are trying to steal his copper, if you know what I mean.
Kim said to keep the trans alive, so you'll definitely keep it alive with that clutch. I'm just curious to see how that clutch will hold up to 1100.
Well, that's if I push it to 1100. We'll see. Like I said, that's just going to be a big learning experience. I got to learn the car. Like I said, I obviously got to figure that thing out.
I think you missed where he said he was going to build it for 1100 and only use 8.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'll probably use it for like one pass and be like, nah, fuck it, throw more at it.
Oh yeah.
I know myself. That's the problem is I know myself way too well. I say this now, and this will probably come back to haunt me when it ages horribly and I blow another motor or something. But I have a bad way of foreshadowing things. So I see Second Shift Racing Gary says I'm trying to grudge race traffic, but unfortunately, up in here in Illinois, there's way too much normal ass traffic. Our cars are not fast up here, unfortunately. So I can't even argue with you, Garrett. I can't even argue with you. Aren't you supposed to be at work, fucker?
Yeah, I know. You're supposed to be working. He
nice.
dipped out because he thought Nitrous Express was going to be here, so he couldn't make it.
See? We love you, Garrett. We love you. Just gotta give you some shit. But,
I was actually thinking, like, if I get his device, I want to try that next step XD clutch that Jonathan ran.
Yeah. That would be interesting. I think that would be. I think that'd be a good game changer because otherwise it's what, an RXT 1200.
Yeah, and I've always had such good luck with XD, and that's I honestly feel like a lot of people, and I know a lot of people have messaged me, and they've actually gone to the XD clutches in these cars because of what I've been doing with it. And it stems back to the import shit because every time I had an XD clutch in the import shit, like it just they were flawless. They were the best clutches. I found, anyways.
Yeah, but I mean, you were racing Hondas, the 9-second Hondas.
Yeah.
9-second in the eighth or 9-second on the quarter.
Yeah. Well, I guess your 11-second
the eighth.
97. No, you went faster with your 11-second car there. I never went 11, so
I love this. We gotta make these into shirts, man. 9-second Honda Chris and 11-second Pro Mod me.
oh shit.
Bro, it's crazy because your car is like probably the most pro mod out of all of them.
Which one?
Jay's
Drag
car.
wing, fucking
Fuck no, I got
chute
the
on it.
cheapest wheels out of everybody.
The drag wing, the parachute.
That's only because I'm racing on fucking garbage. I'm like sitting here like, you got to do everything you can. Trust me, if I was racing the car on a normal prep track and not needing all this extra bullshit, I'd be like, man, stock trunk, fuck the wing. Like I got room to stop. Everything's good to
Wing
go. But I
Wing
know I'm
and
signing up.
parachute's good for a second.
What's that?
Wing and parachute's good for knocking off a second.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jay's the type of guy that puts the sock roll in his pants when he goes out. That's Jay.
No, I put the loaf of bread, dude. Get it right.
Oh, fuck.
Get nice and sweaty. No, I mean, again, I wanted to really push the Gen 1 and try to, hopefully it lasted and was able to run a number, but now I'm glad I did that shit because, I mean, so the motor that I have is an identical copy of Michael Chamberlain's old setup, and I think his car, from what I saw, was going like 830s in the quarter.
No,
don't
it's
think
been faster. Michael, he goes like 760s, 750s right now.
Wait. I'm learning this live that this is the mimic of the motor that I have. This is what it's copied off of. I'm not doing that with a stick though. There's no way I'm gonna do that with a fucking stock MT82.
You could do anything one time. Just stop crying about it. Just do it.
You do anything one time. Yeah, I tried 14 psi on a fucking stock Gen 1 one time, and we saw what happened.
Hey, that
You got
one guy
stock.
tried 16
Is this true?
What?
Do you have stock brakes on that car, Jay?
Stock brakes on the rear. I got Strange in the front, but I don't have the Hot Boys yet.
Oh,
I'm poor.
Okay. Well, at least you had.
I'm a vendor for Strange. You think I'd be like, hey, fuck it, I'm gonna get some Hot Boys on my shit, but I'm just slacking. So, well, although I have bicycle brakes, that's probably why I need it.
Maybe.
I did warn you with that boost on that Gen 1. I don't know if I could go back. I wouldn't have blown mine up. I would have liked to have pulled it out and sold it and upgraded before putting a hole in the block.
Well, the bottom end's been good. I didn't put a hole in it, and I actually was able to get some money for the bottom end. But I think it's the issue we have is in the heads. Seems like I got a few burnt up valves from what I'm noticing and what I'm seeing. So the bottom end survived. So that motherfucker must have been built on a really good fucking Friday where everybody's like, we're coming into work, we're getting shit done, and it's Modelo time after work. Fuck yeah. So they were motivated the day they built that motor. Can't say the same for I'm going to hope my transmission was the same deal. We're going to hope somewhere in China when they were building it, they weren't eating on bats.
Well, that's the scary thing when you start spending all this money and upgrading everything else. And it's like, because that worries me because the next step, I got to get a built motor. There's all this sort of shit I got to do. And if you stick with that stock trans, I just know it'll happen. You'll spend all this money upgrading the motor, more boost, and then that fucking transmission will go.
Well, that's why I'm not front side racing.
Or you could have like a machine shop error in your engine.
Yeah. Well, that's what
wild.
I don't know. It scares me, especially with Coyote stuff. And if it's not Ford Performance or FFRE, I probably wouldn't even fucking touch it. That's just me. But
yeah. That's the only good thing I got going for me is that it's a friend of mine that sold me the motor. It's got good parts in it. It's got receipts for everything. I got all the history on the engine, and I'm not paying a lot for the engine. So it's kind of like the heads alone of what's on that motor, it kind of paid for itself. Like if that bottom end takes a shit, for God forbid, one, I know I'm going to sit the season out and I'm going to start looking at LS swaps. But if the bottom end does take a shit, I know I got my money's worth in the heads, so I'm not really too worried about it. But I know I have mentioned before, and I know Raska's told me plenty of times that I'm going to put a real motor in it, and it's not an option that that hasn't been considered.
So Raska's not playing with any Coyotes, is what you're saying?
No, he plays with the good shit. He's got the big block Chevys over there on multiple
Yeah.
kits. I mean, if y'all would have seen the Camaro they had over there, the matte black one, Nitrous Cowboy, that was a bad motherfucker.
Yeah.
So there's
That was a fun car.
they play with some big boy shit over there. They don't fuck around. So
Yeah.
you know, and obviously you see what I deal with at work with me, fucking Musi 959s and all this other fucked up shit that I'm like, man, you know, there's a lot of options out here. Just depends how fast I want to go and how much I want to burn up my paychecks.
Yeah, I think Cody decided if this Pro Charge LS doesn't work this time that we're going big block.
I mean, you could go Coyote.
We'll probably just put my motor in there.
Yeah, you guys already have that sitting there. I already know how fast that thing went. That was a bad motherfucker too.
Yeah.
I love my Coyote, but I'll still say it's the worst sounding motor of them all. So
You just got the wrong mufflers on them.
You ain't gonna beat the sound of a big block. I don't care who says
oh
what.
yeah,
No
big
Coyote,
block or small block
Voodoo.
Ford.
Big block Chevy for the win on that. That fucking sound nasty.
Yeah.
We just put a 496 in a 72 Cutlass, and we turned that thing on for the first time and tuned the Holly Sniper that's on it, cleared that thing out, and I was like, "Fuck, I don't want to play with Coyotes anymore." But I'd be curious to see what a big block Chevy does with a stick shift behind it. I mean, they used to do it back in the day, but then again, back in the day, 13 seconds was fast.
Well, like a lot of the big events, they don't allow big blocks in the stick shift class. It's all small blocks.
Well, thank God we don't have that rule set because I'm.
Well, I was gonna say, was that must be a Florida thing, I guess.
No, it's import versus domestic.
Oh well, I'm too poor to race at that anyway, so I'm not worried about
Oh,
it.
like World Cup?
Yeah, World Cup.
Holy fuck, that's above
Like that's
my
like
pay
the
grade.
only rule. That's the only rule, basically, besides the tire and stuff. But
That's crazy that they rule you on that big block, but basically you can have pretty much an automatic in your car and call it a stick shift and run.
I don't think
the stick
a
shift
manual
class.
can really hold up behind a big block. Like an all-out one. If you do something like, Nick
Yeah.
Coleman or whatnot, like I think it's just too much power, too much torque. It's just gonna blow through it.
I don't know. I'd be curious, but I also don't. I don't ever have intentions of going that fast. I mean, you telling me that the motor I got can go sevens already kind of scares me because I really don't want to go that fast. I'm cool with just mid 5 second street car. So I guess
Yeah, but Mike's car was also a turbo 400.
Oh.
was it manual valve body stick shift
Probably.
540.
And then before that, he had the
Healthy
6R
start.
in his car.
You're not wrong, Jet Black. 540 is where I feel like that's where if you're gonna get a big block, you need to start at a minimum of 540. Otherwise, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I like my 565.
That's a big boy. That's a big
Oh
boy.
yeah.
Fuck. And you got how many kits in that thing?
2.
God damn.
That's got to be a good time.
For
That's
sure.
got a damn good time. What do you spin? What's the RPM you're seeing on that thing? What are you spinning it to?
Shifting at 75, going to about 78.
In a fucking big block.
That's impressive. That is
God
very
damn.
impressive. That is because usually, I mean, fuck, you see most big blocks are like, yeah, we're done at 6,200. That's
Yep.
very impressive. And it's
I
what
think
a
Brent
solid
was
roller?
taking. Yeah, Brent was taking it to almost 8 in the Studebaker.
That's wild.
Jeez.
That's wild.
But it doesn't. It just putts along. It doesn't even sound like it's working really. It just goes.
What's the valve train in that thing? You got like, what? Without giving away too many details, what parts are all in it that you're using? That like, again, kind of to circle back. What if somebody was going to do something like that? I mean, where would you start as far as like cam manufacturer? Obviously, lifters and shit like that. Because I see that's a big thing nowadays. I know, like I said, with some of the shit we build, it's hard to find good manufacturers of parts.
That motor was already built when I got that car, so it was just freshened up. But it's aluminum rods and all that stuff. So I don't know a whole lot about it other than it runs. I haven't been into it.
Damn.
No,
So-
it's just we run the valves on it and tune it and go. It's
There
a
you go,
dart
LS
block,
guys.
dart heads. It just works.
Fuck yeah. That's sorry, LS guys. The big blocks are more reliable. You guys heard it here first. That's fucking sick, man. That's badass. And that's got crossbars on that too, or what kind? Or is that a direct port?
It's got a direct port and a crossbar.
Fuck, party.
Yeah, we got 300 on the crossbar and I believe 400 on the direct port.
Jesus Christ.
That's sick. That is sick.
Some badass shit.
A guy says, Gabe says, late 90s, turn a big block Ford 8,000 RPM with stick 429 crank. Had C468 style heads, so it was a dud unless you spun it. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
I can see that. The Ford motors, though, man, they've always been RPM monsters, though. It's usually the GM stuff, you don't hear about that kind of RPM, and when you do, it's badass because they sound wicked at high RPM.
Yeah, I think Oldsmobile's the worst one for RPMs. I had a 455 Oldsmobile in my jet boat, and the guy that did all my machine work, he's like, the way this thing's sitting, he goes, don't take it over 3,500 RPM for very long. And I'm like, well, that's no fun. So he did a bunch of other crap to it, and it'd live up to about 5,000, but you didn't keep it there very long.
That's wild. Yeah, the Olds motors, even the Pontiac motors, like RPM was not something favored. Like that was more, really all BOP stuff. I don't really think a lot of guys were able to turn a lot of RPM.
Yep. I can't remember exactly what all he did, but I know he plugged some holes and drilled some other holes to give priority oiling to the rods and mains and stuff. And he kind of, I don't know, it was a bunch of old school secrets that he probably wouldn't tell anybody. But it worked.
The old school secrets usually what makes the shit fast.
Yep.
Unfortunately, there's no old school secrets to our Coyotes.
Yeah.
We're very copy paste.
Unless you consider 2011 old school.
Yeah.
Hey, that's what I got. I got the OG.
Yeah, you got the good head studs. You got the 12 millimeters.
Yo.
So is the Gen 3.
Yeah, but Gen 3 has problems with the cylinder wall liners.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And the 2018 cylinder number 8 isn't circular.
Oval cylinders.
Yeah,
just giving Raska more ammunition next time he tries to convince me for an LS. He's gonna be like, you guys don't even have circular cylinders.
Yeah. True. Number 8.
That's fucked, man. Quality control out the window.
Yeah, that's wild.
That's fucked up, man. So what obviously we've talked about the next no prep events you guys are going to. Obviously the builds you guys showed us in the shop. What as far as Hicks Off Road and Raska Motorsports, what's next for you guys? What's the big goals for the year?
Man. That's a trick
I'll put you
question.
on the hot spot there, man.
You did.
Aside from buying a helicopter.
I would love to buy a helicopter. That'd be fun. I guess probably get this Fox body together and make that thing live and go out and win some more races with it. We were on a pretty good record there for a while. I think we went to 5 races and won 3 of them, and went to probably the semis in the other 2. Then we started having some issues, but man, we got a lot of stuff to do, got a lot of things to do, but finding good employees is a hard thing. I guess that's probably our main goal, is to mesh these 2 businesses together and make it work, and find some quality employees to make it happen with.
Yeah.
It's a hard thing to find this day and age. Somebody that wants to show up, let alone actually work.
Yeah, that's for damn sure. There's some people in Chicago that I know, but I don't think they're allowed to leave to Texas yet. So
Yeah, that's what I heard. I mean, yeah, we even threw up a 2-job deal and got shot down.
that's crazy. I don't know who would turn that down. I don't know who would be like, you can't go. That's crazy. I would never imagine. I'm gonna get yelled at after this.
I think their initial starts with a K.
Probably.
I've seen that.
Without throwing anybody under the bus.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, I seen that Trevor was scaling things back a bit too with like the builds and whatnot from TC Tuned. I seen he posted up today. And I know he struggles with the same thing. It's just the manpower too, right? There's a lot of other factors to it when you're getting into builds and all that sort of shit, but manpower is a challenge, right?
Manpower's hard. I mean,
Yeah.
and it seems like every job we get is a big job. Like the wall I showed you a while ago. How many pieces of that? There's 9 pieces. They're 10 feet wide and 16 feet long, and it's 1/2-inch plate steel we have to powder coat. And it, I mean, it's an ordeal just to get them in the rack, to get them in the oven. And I mean, it's nonstop powder coating stuff, and every build we got is tear my razor apart and rebuild the whole thing, or build my whole truck or my whole race car. It'd be cool to have some simple, hey, put this nitrous kit on. Those deals are fun because you can knock them out in a day.
Yeah.
You kind of end up married to these other jobs.
Yeah.
But getting somebody that helps is hard.
Yeah.
Just even we're looking for somebody just to run the front counter and coordinate jobs, so me and Cody can go do jobs. He can powder coat and I can work on race cars, and can't find anybody that wants to show up and do that.
And that's shit. I mean, that's all customer service. I mean, yeah, you're gonna get shithead customers, but it's not really even super backbreaking. I mean, you just got to have a good personality and know how to handle your shit and stay organized.
Answer the phone and check jobs in and take money and send them out, and it's pretty easy.
Yeah.
But just nobody wants to do it.
I know we had that same conversation today between me and Adam. We got that 72 that's leaving. We got the 68 Le Mans that's leaving. And, we got that Australian Pro Stock we got to finish. And I looked at him this morning. I'm like, man, I got the shop all organized. We got everything good to go. Like, these cars are ready to go. I took initiative and just got shit situated. So we have plenty of room to bang out this Pro Stock and be ready for the next wave of cars. And he looks right at me and he goes, there's not going to be a next wave of cars. We need to get on shocks, get some shocks going. And if it's a little job here and there that we can bang out in a day, cool. If it's something we could just tune a Holly or finish terminating a harness on a Holly and get it out, he's like, those are the jobs I want to do. He's like, I don't want to get married to any more of these restoration jobs. I'm like, right on. I respect that.
Yeah.
So,
but I mean, even just wiring a car, you can get 40 hours in wiring a car pretty quick. Easy.
Yeah. The wiring is intimidating, man. I don't know how y'all do it. Y'all love the wiring.
I don't know whether you love it. It's just, it's not that bad.
I don't know. I look at it. I get anxiety. I get scared. I go start crying. I get all freaked out, shaking in a corner. Actually, I'm outside begging for change.
Speaking of Adam, I actually
go ahead.
Okay. Speaking of Adam, I actually heard. I didn't realize what the car was, but you guys sponsored a car that was at War in the Woods.
Yep, that was Mike Tannish's Black Fox.
Oh, okay, yeah, because I just heard Chicago Connection sponsored, and I was like, oh shit. And I thought maybe it was John Leslie. I'm like, oh, it's not stick running right now, so I'm like, oh, cool, they're sponsoring a car that's out here.
Yeah, that was Mike Tannis. Like I said, man, him and his 2 sons, his wife, and they're all good people. And seeing them out there. Yes, Garrett, colors do confuse me. They do. I thought you were brown and make food with your feet in India. Sorry, Garrett.
Hey, I've seen some horrible attempts at wiring.
I mean, fuck you, Chris. If you would have saw how I wired my nitrous kit, you trust me, you would have probably you would have been very disappointed.
I think you sent me a picture of it. Because I think I sent you a picture of one that I wired, and then you sent me yours, and you're like, yeah.
Yeah. And then we had old cross-eyed Willie over there try to wire in my bottle heater and pulled one of my fuel pump fuses and never told me.
It happened.
Well, you didn't need that extra fuel pump. You don't make a lot of power anyways. And then I go put a turbo on the car. Manny's like, hey, man, we're running out of fuel system. What's going on? I don't know. Let me check my wiring and fuses.
Yeah. Hey, we had Cody's car on the dyno, and we had 3 fuel pumps on it. And we're sitting there and we're like, man, what is going on with this thing? We went through, checked everything out, come to find out we're running out of fuel. So we had to put a 4th fuel pump on Cody's car.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
What size pump y'all run?
Yeah.
It's got what size pumps in it now? It had 3 of the Walbro 450s in it,
What the fuck?
and it wasn't enough.
That's fucked up.
Yep.
That's a lot of fucking fuel demand. You have it wired now. All 4 are wired hot all the time, or do you have them like on a hob switch, or how do you have them wired in, or how do they activating? Are they seeing like a boost and then bringing in the other 2 pumps, or?
So Snow, which is owned by Nitrous Express, they have a little relay board, and you can have your main one turn on, and then you can have separate triggers for the other based off RPM or boost or however you have it set up. But on his, we just have them all 3 turning on at the same time.
Okay.
Or actually all
So-
4, I guess.
So I guess that's a good little plug there, because I know, again, we're the Mustang community, the Coyote guys are trying to keep 4 Innovations alive. They got some shit going on over there, and we wish the best to those guys. But if you are in a situation you need a fuel system in a timely manner and something reliable, Snow Performance, I could highly recommend as well. I'm going to be making the switch to that for my my poor Innovations, not 4 Innovations, ghetto ass fuel system I got, because Snow stuff. I mean, it's quality. It's quality, and I know
You can
I've
get
talked
it.
about it, and I'm sure we'll get the boys to PRI together, and we could see some Snow Performance products together and showcase some of that in some videos. Because I want to definitely get Chris out to PRI. I want it, Phil. That includes
I'm
you
down.
too. Phil, Garrett, I know you're listening. Y'all are going to PRI. We're gonna have some fun.
Yeah, you can get a triple pump fuel hat that'll drop in your stock tank, or you can get one that'll go in your fuel cell.
Yeah, that's what I got right now. Is the one that goes in the stock fuel tank, and it's a triple setup.
Yep, they work great.
Yeah, and the
And yours
relay
is
board you
Snow,
guys
Phil?
make is badass.
What's that?
Is yours Snow Performance, Phil?
No, I have a 4 kit, but
Oh, you're a 4? Okay.
Yeah, the Snow one is cool because it's all billet. It doesn't have any hoses inside the tank or anything. It's all into a billet manifold, so you don't have anything to go bad inside.
Yeah, so another option for the guys out there that are needing fuel systems, don't want to wait for 4, or whatever it may be. Again, nothing against 4.
Oh,
but it's
my
good to
phone
have
died.
some options.
oh shit, he had the same thing happen to me.
What the?
Well, I got to ask, why you been black all night, Phil? What's up with that?
Dude, I don't know. My camera's on my screen, but
Oh, really? I was wondering. I'm like, I wonder if he knows that he's blacked out.
Thought he
well,
was
I'm
just
looking at
yanking
my
it.
TV also. I'm like, dude, it's a black screen. What the fuck is going on? And I'm like, maybe it's just a fluke. But
No, you've been blacked out.
okay, that's kind of weird.
All right, we lost Raska. Phil's been struggling.
Phil's been black all night.
Yeah, hold up. Let me refresh this bitch.
We're all struggling. I don't know anymore.
Oh, yeah, he's totally gone.
Yeah.
Raska, he's
Now it's just us. Oh, wait, he's back.
no,
He's gone.
no, he's gone.
Just playing with my emotions, man.
It's back to like episode 1.
So what's the plans for your car, Chris?
Well, my car right now, so just a quick deal with that. So I haven't put a video yet. I've been filming the build with the garage, what's going on with that. So I will put a video out, but my car is leaking fucking gear oil like no one's business. Like, drive down the fucking road and the car's on fire. So I had Bear Performance do the wheel studs, as you've probably seen. They upgraded it to 5/8 wheel studs. And I told them, no, you got to take the C-clip eliminators off. So I said, hey, whatever you got to do to put them back on. He's like, oh, we'll need probably a new bearing or whatever. I said, yeah, fucking do whatever you got to do. So got them back, obviously, put them in the car, and then realized they were leaking. So the first thing I noticed was that they didn't put, there's like an O-ring that goes between the C-clip eliminator and the caliper. So they didn't put that back on there. So that was completely missing. But I did see that the oil path was coming out the front of the C-clip eliminator, like right to where like the pub is. So I'm like, I doubt that's it, but I'm like, we'll get that going. So I found some locally. Luckily, they reached out to Strange and then got me like the industry number, and I found one at a hydraulic shop here locally. Pulled it out again, more gear oil, put the O-ring on, back in, take it down the road, same deal. And I'm like, yeah, it's fucked. I'm like, it's got to be the seal. And I assume they replaced the seal. So I got the invoice and I'm looking and I'm like, okay, they replaced the bearings, they replaced the wedding ring, they call it, that presses everything on there. And I'm like, no fucking seal. And I'm like, okay, maybe they just didn't invoice me. So I reached out to them and I said, did you replace the seal on this? No, we didn't. I said, this thing's leaking like crazy. Oh, and he's like, these C-clip eliminator kits, we never have any luck. And I'm like, are you fucking retarded? You changed the bearing, everything, and you didn't change the seal? Like,
with the C clips, they do leak. Like, I know it's pretty common for them. But when I did mine, I RTV'd the fuck out of it.
Yep.
But I didn't have no fucking gear oil in my shit because my car was already down for like a couple months at this point. So there was no fluid in there, and I cleaned it all up, and then made the precise cut, and then RTV'd the fuck out of it, and it's been fine.
So like mine never leaked before. The C-clip eliminator's been on there for 2 years, and we RTV'd the fuck out of it too, where the caliper bracket goes onto the housing. There's no leak there. It's leaking out the fucking front, so it's getting past that seal. So I think when they pulled it apart or whatnot, when they put it back together, they probably fucking nicked both seals, right? So honestly, I've dealt with them multiple times. This is probably the fourth dealing with Bears Performance in Ontario. And unfortunately, the first time I went to buy Strange stuff, I contacted Strange, and they told me I had to buy it from Bears Performance if I was in Canada. So basically, they push you to buy it from this place. And I said, well, I got a P.O. box. Like, they won't even ship to a P.O. box. They're like basically making me buy from Bears Performance. So I'm like, all right. So they've overpromised and underdelivered on everything that they've done for me. And then this was just the deal breaker because I went back to them and I ordered a whole new C-clip eliminator set. Because a buddy of mine that's been doing this for a long time, he said, usually with those things, cut them off, put a whole new fucking deal on. So I ordered it from them. I said, hey, get it overnight from Strange. And it got here, and they nailed my credit card. And I'm like, where's the invoice? There's no invoice. So then they sent me the invoice, and they charged me more than retail for the fucking C-clip eliminator kit. And like way more shipping than it should have been. So I sent them an email 2 weeks ago, and I said, hey, this isn't fair. At least reimburse me for the bearing, the wedding ring, and the labor for installing the C-clip eliminator back on after you did the studs. And they never responded. So I said, you know what? I said, fuck it. I said, I've kept my cool. Every time in the past where I haven't been happy with them, I've just left it as it is. But I'm like, this is the deal breaker. Fuck them. So that's where the car's at.
Next time you need stuff from Strange, who we call him?
Yeah, I'm gonna call you. I'm not dealing with fucking Bears Performance. They can fuck off. Never
you
again.
Just get a separate 8.8 housing. One of us could fucking build it, and then we'll just hand deliver to Canada.
Well, and it would have been fixed by now. So the part of the problem is the car has been in the driveway, and I've been waiting for the guy to come do the demo and excavating for the shop. And I couldn't pull the car apart because I'm like, what if he comes tomorrow? Because it's been like. Coming next week. That's kind of how it's played out. So the car's kind of just sat while I'm waiting for that to happen. So luckily he was here on Monday excavating and doing all the demo stuff. So I shipped the car out to my buddy Bo's shop on Sunday, but I was so deadbeat from the weekend until I got there Sunday night to go pull the axles to start getting this fixed up. And I'm just like, I'm dead, dude. So it's been sitting for a couple weeks now. The parts have been here. It's just, I just haven't had the energy and with everything going on. So that's kind of where my shit sits right now.
We're going to see that back out soon, though. I know you ain't got no quitting you either. You deal with what you got to deal with, and you keep going.
Oh, yeah, it'll be back. It's just been a clusterfuck with everything going on with the shop build and everything. And that is literally the priority is to get that shop built because that's part of the reason why I can't get shit done like what's happening right now is because not having the resource to do that, right? Luckily, Bo's let me put it out there now. So it'll be fixed in the next week or two. I'm sure I'm back out. We got a race on the 21st. I'm trying to make here the first PYOP here. It got so luckily enough, the two races that have happened here this season have got canceled due to rain. Well, I guess that's not lucky, but for me it is. So the one that was the PYOP back of the track first time at Toronto Motorsports Park, that's on the 21st. So should be good to make that, which is crazy. That's the end of June, first time I'm racing for the season, but it is what it is.
I think we're, I would say as a group right now, Garrett's probably having the most success as far as racing goes. And I think all three of us, we're kind of just, hey, Garrett, no pressure. You got to carry it for the team right now because all three of us are hurting.
Patrick from SpongeBob with the fucking board and the plank and the nail across the head. That's how we look right now.
Oh,
Well, you
fuck.
guys got it worse than me. So
Dude,
a lot worse.
this shit
Fuck.
is, man, I really could go off about it, but like, you know, I don't want to really talk about it because it just makes me mad. So yeah.
Well, I mean, I already shit on some people. You can shit on some people. Chris, dude, for the first time, we saw the Canadian shit on somebody.
Yeah, I mean, you guys can see my post on Hardcore Coyote. I aired the business out on there and stuff about the whole machine shop fiasco.
Oh, I'm
And,
not on that.
yeah, they fucking called me today.
Hardcore Coyote? Is that what the thing's called?
Yeah, Hardcore Coyote Performance.
That sounds kind of gay.
It is.
Yeah, it does.
Hey, he's back.
Phone died.
Fuck yeah.
So
So that's where you aired it out, Phil, was on that Hardcore Coyote.
Yeah, I put on that hardcore page because like that's where like a lot of the racers are and stuff. Like, you know, I could have just posted in the Lund group, of course, but you know, I kind of wanted to get a bigger audience and let them know about it. But everyone on the Lund page is already kind of educated and stuff. So
So who built that motor?
this shop in Texas, but they called me today and they explained a little bit more about what happened with it. It was like, so the motor was refreshed by Diamondback Performance, but the original motor came from Thompson Motors, which is somewhere in Texas.
So this is where the
Those are
fuck
the guys
Diamondback
that-
Motorsports came from.
Yeah, and then the Thompson Motorsport guys, those are the guys that put the counterweight and the crankshaft like that, you know, in the incorrect way. And then so this motor I didn't buy like brand new from them. I bought it through someone that was selling it. They just got it refreshed because they were running in their Coyote swapped RX-7 with turbos on it. It was running like 40 pounds of boost, and they accidentally bent 2 connecting rods because they commanded 55 pounds of boost. And that's when Diamondback refreshed the motor. And then it was already sleeved at that point, so they went from the 363 board to the 3.7 board, which is a 5.2, and that's the biggest you can go on a Coyote. So there's no rebuilds left in my motor. And I reached out to FFRE about this, and they said, like, even with the fact that, you know, it's 3.7 board, the fact that these other shops, like, did the sleeve job, they don't trust them, and they don't want to take that risk. So I still have my stock block, which is, like, just chilling in the corner of my garage right now. That's what's going to go to FFRE, and it's going to be the same thing like Jay has a Michael Chambley's deal with a stage 3 short block. And yeah, it's gonna be a twin 6870 car now.
Oh shit!
Yeah. It's gonna be wild. Cause I don't know. Well, I can tell you about power and how much power it's gonna make like afterwards. Cause like I don't want to air Jay's business out there and whatnot. But this motor will make a lot, especially with the turbo setup on it.
Yeah, just air my business out. I'm not worried about it. I got to make the car run number first anyway, so it don't matter.
Well, like I got like plan. There's like this other plan I have for the car too, but it's like the devil's advocate, you know, and like I don't really want to entertain it, you know.
Put a 400.
You're not putting a fucking auto in it, are you?
Well, like the idea's in my head, you know. I wouldn't put a 400 in it because, like, you know, then I have.
Fuck.
Oh, he's gone. No.
Oh my god, dude.
Oh, I had to.
Yeah, no, like in my area it's like big no time overdrive shit. And I think that's kind of what I want to gear the car towards maybe eventually, and like think about 6R80 stuff, but you know, it's just a thought. Like obviously I still have the T56, it's still in my garage. I still have the clutch from Vengeance, and I want to get more data for Vengeance on their clutch. So I'm going to put the manual back in it when I get the car running. You know, I'm not going to ask them for Brett's hand-me-downs. Those motors are badass, but I won't be able to reach the potential of them.
You gonna put a V-gate in it, Phil? You want to put a V-gate in it?
No, I'm not that gay.
Oh, okay.
I know
I was
it's
curious.
June, but that's like a little bit too
I know
much.
it's June.
I just figure I ask, you know. V-gates are like a popular thing among the gay pride community.
And sequentials.
Yes, and paddle shifters. Oh fuck! I'd say we're what almost two. Yeah, we're over 2 hours in. What are you thinking, Chris?
What am I thinking?
What are you thinking?
I think I don't want to go for 4 hours tonight.
Sounds like a good
No.
idea.
Yeah. I was hurt. I was hurting the next day after the last one. That was a haul because we didn't start till later either because I know
California.
Tony was super busy too at work, so trying to get because I think we started. Jeez, I don't even know what time it was here, but I think
We started like 8 at 9.
It was like 9:30.
So I think it was like
time.
Was it? It was like 2 a.m. I think when I went to bed, like got off here right to bed. It was 2 a.m. our time.
That fucking hurt.
For my time.
I know Raska's back there busy doing LS things to 4i Foxes with old hate train.
We got to put a K member in one tonight.
Fucking A.
It's missing.
Well, they got to go win a Pinks race. And I got to specify what Chris we're talking to. They got to go win a Pinks race. Phil, you got to go to FFRE and get LaSalle's hand downs.
Yeah.
Peg leg, you got to go get a V-gate. And me, I got to go run.
Like fuck.
I got to go run an 11.99. So I think
we thought you had a shit.
Yeah. He's gonna film
either
it
shit or fuck, one of the two.
Fuck. Well, in
Maybe
that case,
both.
I would say before these guys start roasting the fuck out of me, Raska, thank you for being on tonight. Thank you for taking time.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Brent, back there, thank you for your 5-minute cameo. And we'll be back in 2 weeks. 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, 2 weeks. We'll do it again.
And
thanks, Raska. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
Super cool having you on. And shout out to Streetcar Life. I don't know if you can see that.
Fuck yeah, the homie Streetcar Life hooking the boys up. Roscoe, we got to get you some Streetcar Life merch out there too. We got to get some stuff sent to you.
Yeah.
So awesome, fellas.
I'll
y'all guys need anything from Nitrous Express or Snow Performance, hit Brent up. He can fix anybody up on any of that stuff that we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, you want to plug one more thing, Brent? You want to plug some NX?
Oh yeah, bro. Everybody likes putting nitrous on everything. Bro, but we do have a lot of high performance American made fuel system stuff that not a lot of people know that we have. Like it's very comparable to Four Innovations. I'm probably biased, right? So I'm going to say it's better than Four Innovations, but I'm biased. I might work there. So all of our stuff's in stock, ready to ship. It's all American made. We make dual hat, triple hat, or dual pump, triple pump hats for all kinds of different makes, models, Corvette, Camaro, Mustang, F-150, Silverados. Can't forget them Silverados. Yep.
Where you can control each pump separate.
Yep. So, man, y'all got some pro mods in the background. Them Coyotes swap Mustangs
I don't know what you're
what?
talking about.
So, if you want
Parachutes and drag wings.
Code 4LUG at checkout for NX, it'll save you 10% on anything that y'all purchase on there, from shirts, hats, all the way up to the full-on system. So, all the fuel system stuff, man, we all like saving ducats, right? It's expensive around here.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm back. Get back to being Toby. See y'all later.
Appreciate it,
Thanks, Brent. Thanks, Chris. Again,
Thank you.
appreciate having you on. And we'll catch everyone in 2 weeks. I'll drop all the bullshit down in the description. So if anyone wants to check out Streetcar Life and grab their merch, and hit up Brent, Nitrous Express. And if you need your nitrous, and Phil, you'll be at FFRE, and Jay, I guess we'll see you racing again in a week.
I fucking hope so. So,
all right, boys.
y'all have a good night.
You too.